That beat is live. It's a live beat, man. Y'all gotta like that, John. Mm. Well, we back here again with another one, with another more conversations with the average black man.
Yes, yes. Welcome to another more hold on. I will get it
He was
together. I will
about
get it together. More
he was about
conversations
word
with the average
conversation.
man.
Yes, yes,
More
yes.
contentious conversations, goddamn it. Because it's gonna be this is gonna be a contentious topic here because we're gonna deal with this sex word. Yes, 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 and the miseducation of the celebration of this particular thing. My baby's running back and forth. So
Yeah, and you having some mic discrepancies and some feedback going on there, sir. It's a little
can you hear me
feedback.
now?
No, we can hear you, but there's a little feedback going on. You
Is it
know.
staticky? Let me monitor.
Yes, yes,
Monitor.
yes. It's a little staticky. It's a little static.
Testing. Oh, here we go. See, I'm gonna have to get at.
It was just working so fine, and then it just started doing some other things. But we're sorry. This is going to be. My co-host is trying to say this is going to be a very contentious conversation today because we're talking about the miseducation of sex celebrations. We're going to talk about some things that are misconstrued and some things that are myth, that people like to exaggerate the truth about in sex. It's time to talk about sex. That's what we doing today. We're talking about sex, everybody.
Testing.
Um,
2, 1, 2,
yeah,
3.
there we go. There we
Ah,
go. It's on and popping.
all right. So let me turn my monitor off, and hopefully I don't get any issues.
Hopefully.
So yes, this topic is going to be a contentious conversation indeed, because this topic is a touchy one. It's the
Mm-hmm.
miseducation of sex celebration. We're gonna go all the way back. You know how we do, we like to bring them facts. We're gonna go all the way back to the sexual revolution of the 60s, 70s, 80s, and
Mm-hmm.
break down and my fundamental question that I'm gonna ask in this is is the world better because of this sexual revolution? Has it made things better? That's just my question. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Since the sex revolution, has the world become better? Mm,
The
we can
society, I don't
argue about
necessarily
this.
say the world. The
The
society, I don't know about
society.
the world.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I like that question, but hey, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. Um, I'm usually the reader of the intro, so can you, while I'm out here sharing it to the world, can you give us a little intro, brother?
All
Can you
right.
tell the people?
So
Tell the
let's jump
people.
right into the sex. Let's jump into the effect of the sexual revolution. Taking a look around our current state of our society, many of us would say that we now live in a society that celebrates sex. We can all agree that it's a natural part of life and nothing to be hide or nothing to hide or be ashamed of. It's not.
Mhm.
However, should there be barriers and boundaries put in place to protect children as well as teenagers from being exposed to content that could be harmful? Or
Mhm.
are the parents themselves preoccupied with things like social media themselves? And they're influenced by the messages found in social media that they don't see a problem with it themselves. You know,
That could be that.
you know. In this episode, we're gonna ask these questions: is there a miseducation of sex and sex celebration of the sexual solidarity in society? Have lessons of abstinence been replaced with encouragement of safe sex? Which and that's the intro. That's what
Uh,
that's what we talking about.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna kick into it. So, um,
Shout out to Swag.
I I'm going to start advertising. I'm still advertising for this show. So can we get into the revolution, the sexual revolution? Can we
All
get some
right,
facts on
so
that? Whew. Sorry, I heard me type off super fast. I just want to get it out there and share it so everybody can see it. Come on and watch us now. All right. I don't know what my co-host is doing. What is you doing? We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Yeah, we can't hear you. I just happened to click on another screen and was like, hey, we can't hear you. Because he got all the facts of this sexual
can you
revolution.
can you hear me
There
now?
we
Because
go. Yeah, there
I
we
was
go.
talking that whole time, and y'all couldn't hear me. That's just something that's really whack about. I'm gonna have to get at this company that does my soundboard. I'm gonna have to send them what you call it. So
A little grievance. Go ahead. Go let's go it over again. Let's do it
so
over.
again, this long story short, uh sexual revolution kind of holds hands with feminism. It breaks into a time of basically how sexual women were given sexual freedoms, from reproduction freedoms to, with the pill and the, terminations of pregnancy, things of that nature, and the idea and concept that, women should not be demonized for being human, because sex is a nat like I've read in the intro, sex is a natural part of life. So with that being said, that part, I don't think anything is wrong. It's what is, in my opinion, emphasis on my opinion, it's what it's blossomed into that's kind of risque, in my opinion. And
Huh?
well, what it's blossomed into is the big bad man. Everything is the man fault. So, you know, uh, work in in the field of of the, the sex was deemed as horrible when it was men that were the pimps. But when women start pimping themselves, it's celebrated. Oh, go get you a OF account. It's nothing. You get a career. But when men were behind it, and they were making money off of it, it was a problem. Just stuff like that. Like it, that's just a. I should have put the example out first. Is when it was always deemed that exploitation of women was bad, up until women started exploiting themselves. When I come from a generation where all the rap videos, rap music, all of that, they was like, oh, look at how these men talk about these women, calling them the B words. They got them up here half naked. They don't respect women at all. And then when women start making their own records, what they do? They call themselves the B word. They say my punani this, my punani that. They in the video half naked. So it's, to me, it's hypocrisy. It's like
I
the
don't
pot
think it's
calling the kettle black.
uh, well, that could be on both points because that works both ways. But I'm not going to say he's blamed on men. I mean, maybe some feminists want to blame that on men or blame men for the sexual exploits of what, sex trafficking, because that's what most is frowned upon in men pimping women. It was the more of a woman not being able to leave, of things of that nature. So I don't like that nuance. That's a bad one. Um, it just is. It's only bad when you can't leave. Let's be real. It's only bad when it's not your choice and you're forced. Which when you put a male and a female dynamic in together in prostitution, we talk about sex. Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be looked at big bad man, because if she wanted to leave and he said no, how's she leaving? Like if she want to leave the industry or the sex industry, that she's her own boss, she's her own pimp, she can leave anytime. Only she can stop herself. So it's the same thing I said before. Only you can fuck this up. So if it do fuck up, if you're not successful, if you say get a disease or something, you can't blame a guy. You can't blame a guy. You can only blame yourself. So in hindsight, guys, now that you don't control certain things and she get to
All
control
right.
them,
So
now you get to
so
hold her
with that
accountable
with
for
that
it.
being said, do you think that lessons of abstinence need to come back or stay gone and just tell everybody to just be safe? So would you
No, just tell
actively
everybody to be safe.
so you would actively tell a 12, 13-year-old girl, strap up? You wouldn't say, wait till you're ready. This is a big step. None of that. None of that. Just strap up. Here goes some birth control pills. Don't come back here.
I'm
Don't bring me
just
back
going to
no
assume.
babies.
I'm
You
not
know
going
what I
to
mean?
assume she's going to be forced to have sex. I
I didn't
think
say
all
she
this
was
shit
going to.
is in your choice. Is all in your choice whenever you're ready. Because only you could tell you when you're ready. I can't tell you when you should be ready. When your hormones is kicking in. That's between you and yourself. But am I wrong if I say don't have sex, but here's a sex toy, here's a vibrator? Don't have sex though. Like I'm
Hey,
wrong? Am I wrong for
eh,
that?
no, that's more. It's as odd and obscure as that is. That's kind of better, but it creates the fantasy. And like with all serial killers, they can only dream about killing somebody for so long before they want to do it in real life. So with any fantasy, it just comes to a point to where eventually they're gonna actually want to do it. So she buzzing and buzzing. It's gonna be like, well, I wonder what the real thing feel like, and especially, and that's what I'm saying. Like the
Well, then
lessons
you
of
can never practice. You can never preach abstinence because that's just nature. You want them to go against their nature. You're teaching them to not. If being horny is wrong, I'm about to
no,
tell a 13-year-old being horny is wrong. So
no,
even if it's
that's
a
natural.
sex toy or it's masturbating altogether,
That's
you don't
well,
want them to have
I'm
sex.
I'm not
Don't
no,
be
I'm not
telling
I'm
them
not
not to
anti.
masturbate. Like
I'm
that's
not
team
anti.
team.
No, listen. No, I'm not anti. I said that. Even though it's obscure, I'm not against that because
Okay.
little boys they're gonna pull out their lotion and they're gonna pull out their lotion and stuff and get to going to work. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not against that part. What I'm saying is that it's conversations need to be held as far as the repercussions that come from it because
Is
it's
we
being
supposed to have
promoted now.
repercussions for having sex?
Absolutely. If you look out, were you a
Why?
teenage? Wait, weren't you I was a teenage parent. Weren't you a teenage parent? Yes or no? That's a hell of a
Yeah.
that. If I had a choice, you think I would do? You think I would go back and be like, when I'm 17, I want to have a baby? No, I would not. I wouldn't
I
repeat
mean,
it.
if I had what these motherfuckers had, all I meant was I would have been on birth control a lot
Right.
earlier. Like a lot earlier, instead of my mom telling me not to have sex. Well, mom, how the fuck did that work out? You can't tell someone not to do something that's natural. It's natural to want to have sex. It is natural to get horny. It is a natural way of doing it. So I'm going to say, let's teach these children how to practice safe sex. Why wouldn't you? That makes no sense. No, I'm not
Eh,
going to teach them safe sex. I'm going to teach them to be abstinent. Like they going to do it. Soon as they masturbate, it's over, bro. They gonna want to try
Right.
it.
But that's
For
the
real.
thing is that
Like,
lessons. I don't think. I think they should still be taught. Lessons of abstinence are being replaced by safe sex.
yes,
It's not even being taught. Like you shouldn't do it until you're ready. They just saying they're saying when you do it, this is how you do it safely. That's how this.
yes,
It's
because when you're ready, this is how you do it
no, it,
safely.
it's
Duh.
nah.
Like, what's
I don't
the
know. I'm an old school parent when it comes to that. I don't think that we should encourage children to do it.
I don't
It's
think teaching a
because
child safe sex is encouraging them to have sex. You
it's like
can't
giving permission.
discourage your child to have sex. They don't
It's
need your permission.
it's like, but
It's
that's the
not
thing.
something you can grant as a parent. You can't stop it. You can't control it.
Uh-huh.
It's not under your control. That's their
Uh,
choice.
absolutely. But what you do control is the image that you have with your kids. And
What
there's the
image?
let me
What
like
sexual
this.
image
Listen,
do a
can I get
mother
it
and
out?
the go
Can I
ahead
get it
now.
out? Can I get it out?
Go.
Okay.
This
So this
is
image that I'm talking about, is, that there's some things that you do. It don't even have to be what we talk, just in general. There's things you can do that like, if my parents found this out, they'll be very disappointed in me. I would let them down. Like the first time I chiefed some, what you call it. And when I did it, it was a different time. It didn't go through the course. You wasn't supposed to be doing it. It was, and when my parents found out, they were highly disappointed in me. It didn't stop me from doing it, no. But the whole thing about it is I understood that at that moment, my parents saw me differently. I wasn't the little good boy, the little Timmy that they thought they raised to be a good little boy. That was gone for them. And that's what I'm saying. So we can encourage them to do things safe at all. Of course, we can do like I know parents that say, if my kids are gonna smoke trees, they're gonna do it at home with me, because if they do it at home with me, at least I know they're not smoking nothing laced, they're not doing nothing crazy, they chilling. It's kind of that same concept, like, so it's like giving them the giving them the birth control and all of that. It's basically saying, I'm okay with you doing this as long as you know what I mean. Like, I don't think that you're mentally, emotionally ready for what comes with it, because that's the ramifications I'm talking about.
mm-hmm.
You 13, 14, you barely understand how, how anything feels. You figuring out yourself and all your emotions, and now you're going put in something else that can completely cloud your judgment and your emotion. You could think you love this person because they gave you a feeling that you never felt before. So now you think you love this person because this person made you feel like this. So you think the feeling comes from that person, and it's not just something your body naturally does. So there's that's what I'm saying. There's more nuance to it, that it's more of that, more that comes with just the abstinence. I think they should be tandem together. The abstinence, the safe sex lessons, and all the nuances in between. I don't think it should just be like, don't do it, but if you're gonna do it, here goes some birth control. I don't think that's pretty much the lesson. Now go outside and watch TV and listen to music, and they talking about booty hole brown and dip wop and all. You know what I mean? It's turn on the TV, a bubblegum commercial. They chew this bubblegum. You know what I'm saying?
I think with all that you being said, all the things that you said, I don't want to say like I'm dismissing it. In all actuality, you just have no control over that. Like, you don't. You could tell them not to have sex. You could tell them that, all right, if when you're ready to have sex, and since this is your choice, this is how you have sex safely. You could teach them about condoms, teaching them about STDs, teaching them about all these things. These are the lessons that anyone that reach puberty that can reproduce should the fuck have, just in general. And I think a lot of the things that you're saying is coming from how parents feel. It's just how they feel about their child having sex. This is why I always say this conversation should be had with your doctor and not your mama and your daddy, because they're going to be biased, and they're not really probably going to tell you the honest truth,
And
no
that doctor
matter.
needs to be a therapist, not just a medical doctor. You need to talk to both the therapist and the medical doctor, because it's
Well, that
especially for
that well,
teenage,
maybe that's
especially for little
just something
kids.
that a therapist should do. But however you want to, put that. But I just think that parents have a bias in this conversation. Now, I don't have a bias in this conversation as a parent, because I have little boys. So I don't have a bias in this. But since there are two bias, there's a parent bias and there's a sexual, meaning gender bias. I just don't think this is a good lesson parents should have. I mean,
So,
especially if you're biased parents, you might want to take them to a therapist or a professional to have this conversation,
so,
because your ass want to
so,
be like, don't
so,
have sex. and
So,
not teach
so
them shit.
okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. I just want to make sure because I'm gonna just tell you what I thought I heard. I don't want to put no words in your mouth or nothing. What I thought I heard you say is that since you have boys, that it's like whatever. I ain't got no daughter, so I ain't worried about no little girls getting pregnant. If they get little girls pregnant, they do something. That's on them. That's kind of what I got.
No,
You know,
I'm saying I
because
got boys.
little
So
boys don't bring the little boys don't bring the babies home. You
I
know,
say I got boys because we don't teach boys abstinence or celibacy. Y'all don't teach boys that. You teach boys how to be responsible, right? Right?
because boys we don't teach boys. Boys are I don't want to say we won't. Boys are not getting the lessons of celibacy and
So,
abstinence, just like the girls are not, because it's one, boys are encouraged to do it, and two, like I said, the boy dogs don't bring the puppies home.
so why
That
you asking me a question you already know the answer to?
no, I didn't ask a question. I said correct me if I heard you wrong, because I thought I
I
heard you
just
say
said what is normally said. I have boys. So there's
right,
a sex bias and
right,
there's a gender I mean, and there's a
right. So you
parent
being a
bias.
woman,
I
so
don't have
you
a parent bias and I only got one gender. So there is no gender bias. If I'm not going to sit here and tell my daughter to be celibate, but tell my son, oh, well, there's a safe way of having sex. No, I'm going to teach them both that it's a safe way to have sex. I don't have a bias.
I don't know, man. I got two boys and a little girl, and I got grandbabies already. So, and I got a granddaughter. So I'm getting them ready because I already know when it comes to this whole this game, the boys are always the villain. The boys are it's always taught to the little girls. Watch out for these little boys. These little boys just want one thing. And no, no, no. It don't be the little boys. It be the little girls that be fast and hot in the tail. And it's be
It be
and it's be
both.
no, it be
It
the
be
little
both.
girl. It be
It
the
be
and this is
both.
why. No,
It be
because
both. Why
girls
would you teach your
mature
child
faster.
sexism?
Look, it's the reason it be the little girls, and I'm speaking from this is anecdotal, my personal experience. The little girls be hot in the ass because when I lost my V Club card, it was her. It was her. You could come in the house, walking home from school. You could come in the house. Ain't nobody here. My parents is gone. It was her. I was thinking about going home and playing Street Fighter on the Super Nintendo. That's what I was on. That's what I had on
It's
my mind.
both.
She had other
It's
things on
both.
her mind. But no, but
It
what I'm saying is listen.
Go
And
ahead.
the reason why it be like that, in my opinion, I'm just my emphasis on my opinion, is because girls mature a bit faster than dudes because they have to deal with men sooner than men start dealing with women. You know, girls have to start dealing with grown men hitting on them as soon as she get titties. 13, she get titties. Now she got grown men. Ooh, what's going? Hey, look, you know what I mean? Then they get up on her, be like, "Oh, she a little girl." Hopefully, they get up on her and say she a little girl. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But they got some dudes that's nasty. That's not that won't care that she 14.
I'm gonna say it's both. You got your anecdotal experience. I got my anecdotal experience. However, I'm not going to say mine's because it's just both. It is what it is. Like it's both. It's fast ass little girls and it's fast ass little boys. It's both.
Hey,
I, you know,
that is just the bias we're
everything
gonna
ain't
have right now.
all. Everything isn't always men do this, women do this, boys do this, girls do this. Everything ain't always that. Like we
If
gotta
that's the case,
sometimes have a regular
if that
conversation
have
without
have
always creating
have
a sexist double standard and everything. But when it applies, it applies. So there is
okay, because
that.
I was just gonna say, so you trying to suggest that it's a cliche for for people to tell boys, watch out for these little girls. These little girls just want one thing. Keep it thing. You don't hear that. You hear, watch out for these little boys. These little boys just want one thing. He don't care nothing about. He just want to get in between your leg. We the villain. I've been. It may be a personal bias because I'm a dude, but We've been the villain always. It's always guys that's the villains. We the villain.
Okay. It is what it is. If that's your opinion. Yeah, I mean. But going back to the mixed education of sex celebration and why I think
Right.
that
Let's
we
move
should
to
just
the
teach these kids fucking safe sex when they're ready. Now, you as a parent can be biased and tell them to be celibate and never have sex. It's never gonna happen. They're gonna fuck. But
oh,
hey,
not never, but when
keep
they
your
when it's
faith.
time.
Keep your faith. You don't. There's never a right time or wrong time unless you're married. Like that's biblical and religious. But I think the right time is when they're ready. When it's not being forced. When they're not being coerced. Like when they want to do it. You don't gotta like it. It's not for you. It's not your fucking virginity.
Now, speaking of that, let's touch on that word, the V word.
Let's touch on it. Let's
Boom,
touch on the
boom,
V word.
boom.
Mm-mm. I'm
Now,
gonna let you go into the V word. Let me drink this water.
now, according to you know the information that's out there, this one is new to me, but I can understand it and I can see it for how they're presenting it. Because in recent times, it's been presented that virginity is a social construct, and I can get that how they can see it as a social construct because it's defined differently from culture to culture. You know what I mean? And what determines exactly and how do you define what it is? Because I think the dictionary says something like a person that's never had sexual
It
intercourse.
says a person that never had sexual intercourse before, or
Right.
and then it says or sexual
or
experience
or experiences, right?
or
So
experiences. So that in itself is where the argument is going to fucking start.
right. and
That's
and
just
I
where it starts.
and it's just like I said, it's a matter of how it's defined through whether it be societal norms or what. I'm trying to see if I still had that screenshot or did I delete it? Yeah, I think I deleted it because I wanted to break down those constructs of it. But like because for example, like the way our Western traditional understanding of it is virginity is when this meets that. Boom, virginity is broken. Virginity is broken, right? So if that's the case, if two 16-year-old boys, you know, have they have an experience, they eat each other's ice cream. I'll just say that. Does that does that count?
Oh shit.
Does that count as so since they didn't do this, are they still virgins? If two
That's
girls get to
funny.
doing this, if two girls get to doing the scissor thing, they about to start a fire with all the friction. Just all you
What?
hearing, all you hearing is this. Just all you hearing is, are they tech? Are they still virgins?
Uh, by de- by definition, um, they're not virgins because they have sexual experience now. By
Right,
definition,
right. So with that
versus
being
no
said,
feminine.
so with that being said, is kissing considered a sexual experience? So your first kiss, you lost your virginity. You see how complicated it becomes.
Wait. Is kissing considered a sexual exchange? Is that a sexual activity or is that like a
That's
hug?
exactly. That's kind of intimate. You won't just walk up kissing everybody,
Is it
right?
intimate? Is it you we kiss our babies?
But you don't kiss them like. Mwah.
So it's the type of kiss. If you
So,
French kiss,
so
are
is
you
that
still a
losing your
virgin?
virginity? It just sounds ridiculous, doesn't
I
it?
mean, I mean,
But when you
I
break
mean
it
that's
down
a
to
good
how,
question though.
but when you break it down into the social construct concept and idea, it's a question that's valid now. It becomes valid.
Mm, mm. Well, listen, based on the definition, it says sexual intercourse or sexual experiences.
Right. And the
Okay.
definition says the experience, right? So does
Now,
that mean So does that mean when I was a little kid and we was, I dare you go touch her booty? Boom, I touch her booty. I'm not a virgin no more. Right? You see what I'm
because that's
saying?
a sexual experience.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's
So the concepts are very social constructive.
it's socially
It's
constructed.
very
It's
it's
obscure,
very
right? It's obscure.
it's obscure. It's very socially constructive. But the normal way of, I would say, us the traditional way of us Americans think of it is intercourse with a heterosexual sex. That's
Right.
how we think of
Because
it.
I can remember
Now,
the I was gonna say I can
or
remember the
or the
little
hymen
preppy
thing. Like
girls.
some of us still it
Oh
with the
yeah.
hymen thing. I mean,
I was getting to that's what I was just about to talk about. I remember the little preppy girls that went to the prep school that they parents would check their hymen, you know what I'm trying to say, hymen. And
hymen.
so instead of having vaginal intercourse, they would, take it in the shoe in the in the behold brown. So I'm like, that's a cold Mickey Ficky out the gate to do that. You a cold
Ooh, ooh.
like you a,
Well,
you a
look.
cold one. You cold to do that.
I mean, they were saving their virginity because in their mind, virginity is vaginal sex. That as long as they wasn't having vaginal sex, they were virgins. Technically, in their opinion, and what they were taught,
And what their
like
parents thought,
mostly,
because their parents
mostly
were the ones
what they were
checking their
taught.
hymen, right? Because it was their parents thought, because their parents was the one checking their hymens, so they over
Mm.
there giving neck,
You over there
opening up the
fingering your
back,
daughter.
open up the back door, and all of that stuff. You know what I
You're
mean?
fingering your
Well,
daughter, trying to figure
no, they would,
out is it
no, they would go.
still
They
there.
take them to the doctor. They would take them to the doctor.
So the doctor over there fingering your daughter, trying to figure
Right,
out if
right.
it's still there.
And you got to keep in mind that all
You
of this
wonder why
happened
they be
before.
doing the weird shit with
But
listen.
all of this happened though because the sexual revolution also spawned the I can't think of the name of the law, but it's a law that says your 12-year-old, if your children are 12 years old and older, they don't have to well we talk, oh, is that Percy?
No, that's Jason. That's Jason. Shout
uh,
out to Jason.
I was gonna say because Percy he trolled me the last time. But
Shout out to Jason. Shout out to Jason. Black Glove.
well I it was you that since you want to say that, it was you that thought of it as underage and all of that, because usually when we talking about virgins typically be young kids, and the show is about the miseducation of sex celebration, and most kids
Hmm.
are the one, and most people go through sex education when they're a kid. Now, if you got yours when you was grown, then hey, you keep that rolling, bro. Shout out to you, adult virgin club. I'm proud of you.
Uh,
You're you're an inspiration to these kids. You should be out here giving speeches, bro. But but no,
um,
but when it comes to virginity, when it comes to virginity though, as a construct, I do agree that I won't say I agree that it can be viewed as a construct. Let me say it that way, because I can understand it as a construct, because like with all the examples that we gave, depending on whose metric we're going by, does that is it like we said with the most ridiculous one of all, is kissing considered a a sexual act? So kissing
it-
means you're not a virgin. You know what I mean? So it's
kissing, what is it? Second base? All that second base shit. Is that
oh yeah.
considered? Is that considered non-virgin transparencies? So now that person isn't a virgin anymore because she got fingered and he put his finger. It's some wet wet. So
It's some wet,
they both shouldn't be, by definition virgins anymore.
right. That's wild. That's wild. That's wild. All right, we went over birth control. We went over that. We went over
No, we didn't go
sexual.
over birth control. We just
I thought we
scanned
did.
on it like no, you was like we shouldn't tell them that they could get on birth control. And that we ain't really like get into the nitty gritty of birth control. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you, ladies, something. Y'all gonna hear this. I know men always talking about your weight and how they don't like BBWs. Basically, they don't want no big obese woman and things of that nature. Well, did you know this? Did you know this with the camera? Did you know this? Did you know that if your ass is over 100, let's say 50 to 60 pounds, the birth control is not going to work the same? Did you
You
know
got to
that?
take two of them. Got to take two of them.
You might have to take 2 pills instead of 1, my sis. You may have to take 2. The plan B
Yeah, the plan B
alone
work.
is
I
not
would say
going
the
to work.
plan B work. The plan B work
But the
like that
birth
too.
control is the same way. Don't get it fucked. All plan B is like 10 to 12 birth control pills in 1 pill. That's what that is.
Oh wow.
That's all it is. So if you, I mean, I just taught y'all something, but I ain't gonna say it on YouTube again, but you just learned something. Okay. Anyway, anyway, birth control works that way too. The IUD, did I say it right? Yeah. The IUD, the pill, the shot, the ring. They all have a weight freaking requirement. Your ass can't be 300-400 pounds on that shit. You're gonna have to, hit the gym or hit a walk. Don't drive to the grocery store. Walk your ass to the grocery store. Carry them bags back so you could burn them calories your ass about to pit on. Listen, a lot of people don't know that, but can't be overweight on birth control, babe. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. All right, bet. That's one
Yeah,
thing we didn't talk about. Like we ain't talk
the one thing
about that
that
part.
don't have a weight requirement are condoms. So fellas,
Well, yeah, you can always
wrap
use a
it
condom.
wrap it up,
Rappy
fellas. Wrap
dope.
it up.
Rappy
Wrap it
dope,
up.
bro.
Because at the end of the day, you can't be mad at her if you didn't wrap up your stuff and now she pregnant. You can't be like, oh, she trapped me. She just nope. You dipped your spoon in the pudding. You did it.
And here's another thing. Don't talk about some she ain't want to use a condom. Bro, do you care about your life? As a mother with 2 sons, I would never tell my son, well, listen to what she want to do. Listen, son, if she don't want to strap up, that's between you and your Lord. If you want to take that risk, hey, I mean, you think she's healthy enough and she's STD free, son, go ahead, go do it because she the one that's gonna be stuck with that baby.
Penitentiary
Not
chances,
telling
huh?
my son that shit. That's dumb shit.
Out there
But
taking
don't tell your sons
penitentiary
that shit.
chances.
Listen, protect yo peanuts, man. And all 2024 digging for free. Stop giving it out like that. Value
What's
it.
going on?
Y'all, some of y'all men don't value your dick. Y'all don't.
Yeah, I don't know
I
why
said
they
it.
got those. I don't know why those dudes exist.
I, I said it. Y'all don't value it. You don't even use it right. You don't practice with it. You practice beating that motherfucker, but that's about it. Like
Say,
like you don't take care of it. You don't value your dick. Just said it. I know you say
that go,
women don't value
well, I'm gonna say
their,
that's
their vaginas, but
that go both ways. That go both ways. Yep.
I know women don't value their vagina too. They don't wash it. They don't take care of it. They don't make sure it's healthy down there. You know what I mean? That
They
shit
don't
does
spray it.
spit up all types of things. It, it, it,
They got to
it
hit it
done
with some
it
perfume or
done, the
something. Yeah.
stomach, the coochie stomach ain't feeling good. It's upset. They just ignoring that shit. Listen, s- start taking care of the person that satisfy you. That one that get you them sweet orgasms. Take care of it like it does. I'm just saying. If it was a chick, you be giving her all types of shit. If it was a dude, You be doing all types of shit. Treat your genitals like that.
Are my kids too loud?
Just
My
say.
bad.
No, they good. They good. As long as they ain't hearing us, they good.
Well,
They great.
I don't want them to be, all on the show, all in the video, dancing.
Oh, doing they yeah. Yeah. Yo. All right, all right,
All
all
in
right.
the
All right, people.
video,
All right. All right.
dancing,
All in the video, all dancing and things, you know.
all on the record.
Now we cover birth control. Now we cover birth control. So, like I said, you got to be a certain. I'm gonna say it again for the new viewers and for the people that's going to tune in later. I'm gonna say it again. Listen, gotta be a certain weight requirement to take these birth control pills, and shots, and rings, and insertions, because they got the thing they assert. So, and then here's this thing: you don't got to be no weight requirement to use a condom.
Nope.
Look at
So,
God. Won't
so
he do it?
that puts all the pressure on men, don't it? Oh damn!
Oh,
I
it
didn't,
go
I didn't,
right back to
I didn't,
y'all.
I didn't hurt the brotherhood. Oh man,
He fucked the brotherhood up, look.
I didn't hurt the brotherhood, man.
We all like raw sex. Don't get
Oh
us wrong.
man,
We like
I
raw
didn't
sex.
hurt the
I like raw
brother.
sex. Women like raw sex. If she act like she don't, she's a liar. And then women be lying. That's another thing I want to say. Women be lying to save face when the sex conversation come up. Y'all act like y'all don't want to talk about it. You don't want to talk about it, but then get mad when he doesn't sexually satisfy you. And then you want to clown the dude, talk about something, and think little. You knew it was little when you fucked him. You just didn't want to talk about sex. You could have had that. You could have learned that before y'all had sex by having a sex talk. Look at that.
Yeah, conversations do need to be had.
I need to start talking about sex before y'all start having sex. And stop looking at it as a cliche or that's all he want to do. Oh well, at least you know. And
But
why
let's
you on that subject? What do you like? And what's your turn ons and turn offs? And what would you say your dick size is? Like,
let's get into some of these videos because I'm looking at the time, and I want to make sure that we, you know, be on point. Because let me see. This woman is who is this lady? Who is this? Who this woman is? Uh, and you don't. Let me see. Since my soundboard is messing up, I'm gonna have to do it this way. Wow. See, and it's not
oh,
big.
oh,
I want to make it bigger. Oh man,
I see why people that do lives have all these different um they have their own engineering stuff, like all these different monitors up and doing all these different things and setting it up and layouts and shit. You gotta do a lot. You gotta get on live. You gotta advertise it. You can't advertise the live unless you actually getting on this, John. It's a lot. This is a lot. But we take this head on. No, wait, why can't I get on my thing? I want
all right. Can you
my
hear it?
profile. No, can't hear it.
You don't hear it?
Nope, but you're loud.
I,
No, we can't
I
hear
got
it.
louder. I got louder.
No, you cool now. You cool now. But
But
we
when I
can't
turned
hear
it
it
on, I
though.
got loud. When I turned the video on, it got louder.
Yeah, when you
What's
turned the
going
video
on
on, it got
here?
loud.
What's going on here? Let's see. See. Do you still hear me?
No, I
So
still
you
hear
don't
you.
hear me no.
I hear you.
Okay.
I can't hear this.
Okay. So let me try this button because I'm just trying to see if my soundboard is gonna work. So there is no sound at all now.
Mm. Yeah, there's no sound on the video. Boom, boom.
You still don't hear it?
No,
Oh man.
I'm gonna tell you when I hear it, but I still don't hear it.
Yeah. This is technical difficulties. I apologize to the audience
Do you want me
because
to pull it up?
if you can play it through your, because I'm just playing it through the notes.
All right, let's see. Wait a minute. Can't pull it up that way. You pulling up the first one, right? Let me see.
Right.
All right, TikTok.
No, it's the actual video, not the link.
I just pulled up it on TikTok because that's the link I got. Hold up, wait. Is that the link? Wait, which one you pulled up? The one that says young white girl, maybe Gen X displaying us the sex. What's this?
That's not what it was. This is making me very sad.
Yeah, because I can't pull that up. Because this is something different. But anyway, I could show this and we could go from there.
All right, whatever you can share, because I'm having technical difficulties.
All right.
A lot from my because I said essentially that sex ed in schools should be not included. Now, to clarify, there are some caveats with the short text that I'm allowed to put on TikTok. I couldn't give very many details. However, I'm super passionate about this topic because sex ed in schools is a form of indoctrination, and B, is often and even more so nowadays targeted to very, 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 very young demographics who do not need to know about these things, which comes across as grooming when you have an adult teacher teaching kindergartners, elementary school students about sex, sexual identity, sexual education, and all of the various forms that that can take. Sex ed in schools and funded by school programs teach kids as young as 5 anal sex, oral sex, how to do all of that, and it's just not appropriate.
Mhm. Well,
That's wild. That's wild, ain't it?
there's that. Yeah, that's mad wild. All right, let's pull up.
That's right on point. That's a miseducation. What you teaching 5-year-olds this for?
I don't think that you should be teaching 5-year-olds anything about sex education. I mean, but if you teaching them about gender, what's for boys and what's for girls, then that's teaching them about sex as well. So I'm just saying, people. Can we say that? Is that something that one can say?
I have my
Hmm?
own. I have my own preference for that, so I don't know. I don't think them
Like teaching
kids
your
need to.
son and your daughter, this is for boys, this is for girls, is basically already kind of teaching them a little bit
No,
of
that part
sex,
of
of
that
like
no, yeah, of no of gender roles, absolutely. But what I'm saying is that should we teach little
Not
kids
gender
that
roles,
certain
but
people
this is for boys,
that
this is
people
for girls. That's not gender roles.
kind of it is. If you're saying that boys are mechanics and girls are nurses, that's gender roles.
No, because boys are nurses and girls could be mechanics. That's not a gender
Right.
role. When you tell
R-
your kid that pink is for girls and blue is for boys, when
That's
you tell your kid that Barbie is for girls, but the tow truck is for boys, you already teaching them
you just said the same thing I
sexism,
said.
kind of, sort of.
You said the same thing I just said. Like you
No,
said what I
no,
said, but you said something different. So you would
because boys don't
so
play with
you
Barbies.
no,
Go ahead.
but what I'm saying is but the mechanic and the nurse is the tool kit in the girl toy section, and it's the nurse kit in the boy toy section. Is Doc McStuffins with the boys? No, he's not.
Is that what stuff is with the boy?
No,
But a
she's
boy can
not.
be a doctor. We can't say that, boys can't be
Ab-
doctors
but
though. Like,
that's the point that I'm
I get
making.
what
Is
you're
that
saying.
but that's the point is that we put those are like you said, those are the gender norms that are pushed as a
Yeah.
society. Doc McStuffins is over there with the girl toys, and Bob the Builder is over there in the boy
The
toys.
boy toys. Yeah, like that's
So
yeah,
that's
basically.
subconsciously teaching them that boys build and fix stuff, and girls can be nurses and, and do healthcare.
I guess if that's how you wanna if that's how you wanna label it. But let's go into the next.
As a society becomes more diverse, it's ever more difficult to have any sort of
You're
consensus
gonna
on a
have to go on
subject like
mute.
sex and
Yeah.
sexuality because it's so deeply connected to our ideas about ourselves as human beings. So the politics of this are complicated.
Most young people are getting something. They're just not getting very much sex education.
There is no national or federal mandate around sex education. And so what kids are taught in schools varies by state, by county, even by school.
Did the
So they
sound
saying
go
that the
out?
state, did you hear it?
No, I know it
Did
ended. I thought it just cut off abruptly, but I guess it ended.
No, it just it did. It just it did. So they're basically saying that, they not even putting in forth the effort to fund, public schools for sex education. So it just makes me think, you guys, with the last one that we were just watching, and the girls was talking about, and then the young lady was talking about how they're teaching kids about, transgenders and all types of shit as to a 5-year-old, or they teaching gay pride and those type of things to, I guess you would say, grade schoolers, basically.
She said
Meanwhile, we have
5-year-old
another
kindergartens.
okay, let's say grade schoolers, same shit.
No, but that's the
So
youngest of the
um,
young. Yeah, I dig what you're saying.
it's the same shit. So on the flip side, they also saying in the public schools, they're not very well funded. So it makes me think, what schools are they teaching this shit into? Because it damn sure can't be the public schools. So when it came down to the lower class, right? They just defunded it. Like they ain't teaching them shit. But when it comes up to the middle and the upper class, they start teaching them more about, the pride stuff, right? And now it's like, well, you shouldn't be teaching. We want to defund, sex ed. That's where the defunding of sex ed come from. Instead of talking about what you should be teaching them. You know what I'm saying? Nope, nope, nope. Can't hear you.
All right, I was
Now
on
we can
mute.
hear you. Oh,
No, yeah, and what Jessica Fields says is true. is that there is an option for parents to opt out of it, but it's still available. And it's available in some schools. But the clip that we showed basically says that there is no federal curriculum. So if there's no federal curriculum, then they freaking there is no set guidelines to when or how old and what grade level to teach these to children, which is why they had the lady speaking to kindergartners. And I get it, grade school is grade school, but kindergarten and fifth grade is both considered grade school, and those kids are miles apart from each other. Kindergartners are still basically babies, and
I don't think you
and
should be teaching that shit to a grade schooler neither. Like
no,
to a
no,
fifth grader
no.
either. But go ahead.
Right.
I
No,
understand what you're
that's what I'm
saying.
saying. That's what I said. I was like, I get because like I said, I dig what you're saying. You're right. But I'm like, but to choose the absolute youngest of the whole group is, what I mean? That's, to me, that's just wild that teacher chose kindergartners to be like, I'm gonna make sure I put this in you as soon as possible so you carry it with you the rest of your life. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that's where it starts at though. That's where it starts at though. The same thing with what's her name? Oh my goodness.
Shahrazad Ali.
Yeah,
Shahrazad
when
Ali.
she's that lady, I can't even say it. But when she said something about little boys needing to play with dolls so they can know how to nurture their children when they get adults, when they get men, and how that's going to look in the average day child. Who is playing with that doll? It's not an 8-year-old. It's going to be a 5-year-old. It's going to be a 6-year-old. That's who's playing with that doll. So it made me when I first heard these two clips, it made me go back to we already teaching our kids how to gender associate, how to gender associate themselves, how to gender associate other genders as well. So I'm not for teaching a child sexual orientation at 6 and 5. That's a little fucking extreme to me. We already teach them gender association. Why the fuck is we trying to teach a 5 and 6-year-old sexual orientation? That's crazy. This is why these things should be federal and not
But
statewide. This
But
should be a federal
federal
thing.
doesn't. They don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole because the reason that they're teaching it, and this is what I assume. I don't know for sure. Just an assumption I'm making, just based on the reality of what it is. I think they teach it to kindergartners and stuff now because they have to explain why little Johnny has two dads that show up on parent teacher day. You know what I mean? They got to explain why little Anthony has two moms that show up on parent teacher day. You know what I mean? So the other kids are like, for the kids that are like, here's my mommy and my daddy. It's like, well, he has two dads. Like, well, little kids, their brains is like, well, he has two daddies. Yeah. So that I think that's why I think emphasis on I think this is why they attempt to figure out a way to start bringing this into little kids' minds at that age because they're going to see that these people actually do exist. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm not gonna say I kind of get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but like I just got a rebuttal. You, us parents, got to review what we want in these schools. As far as this is something like a curriculum that we all gotta agree that we're cool with. Let them come up with whatever fucking curriculum. Let us choose between the options of the curriculums, the sex ed, and let us agree to them and stick to the shit. Don't take your feelings out of it because
Right,
they
but
need the education.
how do you? But like I said, if we show up to parent teacher day, you got I got me and my wife with our baby, you and your dude with your baby, and then little Susie over there got two moms. You know what I mean? That's nowhere in the curriculum. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's no.
Let's
It's
send an
nowhere in the.
let's start sending emails when we that way we can avoid that part. Like that way we can avoid that. You just send an email. That's all. Bam. You don't gotta worry about Billy dad and his other dad coming or little Cheryl two moms coming because they got the email and you got the PDF let you know what the curriculum is going to be about. You send the approval back. We bam by the bam by the boom. We all can work it, move on and work on what I did. It's 2020, it's 2024, bro. We don't all got to conjugate in one room.
We're gonna have to open up the calls. We're gonna have to open up the calls because this right here is interesting. That she said that her kids brought the permission slip home from school, and they emphasized and they were very clear to say that it was the normal traditional version of sex ed. So that could be why a lot of people are in an uproar because
what is the normal traditional
right.
All right, let's open it. Let's open up the lines.
People are in different states too, so so I'm gonna put I put the link in the comments right there for you, Miss Jessica. I'm trying to pin it to the. It ain't letting me pin it because they got this big old giant heart in the way. That's preventing me from pinning it to the. There we go. So I've got that pinned in the comments now for everybody watching on our new. Be sure to like and subscribe on our new channel, Moure Conversations with the Average Black Man. Be sure to go over there. If you're watching on the old channels, we appreciate you on there too. But come on over to the new channel and be sure to like and subscribe over there. I'm gonna put it up on my screen right now. Yep.
All right, I put it on Facebook, even though we're not streaming. But I think hopefully by give us like another. Why do it look? Oh, okay, because I'm looking at the wrong ish. My bad. I need to go over here. I'm like, why do I look like that? Okay, cool. I think not next week's show, but the week after that, we should be able to start streaming from all our networks, like all our platforms at one time. Because I miss streaming on Facebook. We got more views. And then we make them come over to YouTube. We want you to come over to YouTube, but we know y'all lazy. Y'all just like clicking on and it's easier to share it in groups. I say that
Right.
versus
and I want to say I appreciate everybody that's here watching right now because I know it's a new day, new time for you guys, and it's gonna be some adjustments that have to happen. But I want to make sure to let everybody know I appreciate. We both appreciate, you guys coming on and sticking through with us and following us through. So
I think we gotta drop it in the bed chest. Did you drop it in the bed chest? Oh wait, that's me. Can't drop it to the self. Oh. Get down, Oliver. No. Don't go. Get your butt down. Golly. Fighting with the. All right, there we go. We got it in there. See, is you saying something? No, you're not saying anything. If you are, we can't hear you, baby. You went. Or you press the mute button again. It's like because you just went mute. You just got quiet as heck. All right, so I ain't put it in where's your group at? Oh, wait. Oh, he had to leave and come back, but hey, Miss Fields. Hey, Miss Fields.
Hey, how are you?
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. All right. we over here have its technical. We've been having kind of like technical difficulties all day.
Uh-oh.
It's
It
been one of
happens.
those days, and usually we don't have
No, it's
technical
not normal, but it happens.
difficulties. It's always I'm gonna say it's normally I hate to blame a man, but it's usually Tim's fault somehow, some way.
I'm not
Like
gonna
it's
tell him you
always
said
him that's having technical. He always having audio problems. It's
You
just
know, it's kind of
something.
like Dedrick. Dedrick be having audio problems all the time, right?
Yeah, but I don't. I know for sure that Devin doesn't have a sound card, and I know Timothy is messing with the sound card right now. So he should have played with this thing beforehand. But it works. I ain't gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. It be working for a good long period of time, and then it just be like, you know what? You want to keep pressing buttons? I'm about to start messing up on you, bro. You doing too much. Um, we we're not done showing these videos though. It's more. We just got stuck on the kid part. So what do you think, and how do you uh what is some of your, now I ain't gonna ask how you feel, but what is some of your opinions on the subject of sex ed in school?
Well, I remember sex ed. Y'all got to remember, I'm 46, so I remember sex ed as just being like you would just hear a whole bunch of disgusting things, and you would see some pictures that were like not very flattering, and that would just make you kind of protect yourself, right?
Right.
That's how I remember sex ed. But I think that nowadays, and that's why I have put in the comments that there are a lot of parents, and Billy can confirm this because they have sex ed in his school, and there are a lot of parents that opt out of their child attending sex education. But I believe, and he believes as well, that it's more because of all the difficulties of everything else that is being brought in, if that makes sense.
Uh-huh.
So it's no longer just teaching the traditional man and woman. They, they fall in love, they get married, have babies, and this is what it's going to be like. And if you're out in the streets and you're having sex, if you catch this, this might happen to you, and this is what it's going to be. But now it's kind of like you got to teach about the birds and the bees and the bees, the birds and the birds, the trees and the trees. Like it's just, and so I think a lot of parents opt out of that because they don't really understand or know what their children are being taught these days. That's how I would feel about
Mm. That's why I said, like, I think a good email would do. Let's send an email out to all the parents with an option of curriculums of sex ed from kindergarten to 12. And we all gonna, agree on some things, send it back. And this is what we gonna stick on. We not gonna 10, 20 years later, or when we have our last child, which is probably like 7, 8 years later, when we have our last child, talk about something. No, I don't want them to know about this.
Bruh.
No. Whoa, what was that?
it. Well,
Oh,
I
my
think
sound
too,
just
and
not
that's
working.
well, and that's why I had put, like, for example, I
Oh,
remember
we can hear
William
you.
brought home a letter, and it was pretty much explaining we're going to be in sex education, and they made it very clear that the sex education was going to be along the lines of traditional sex education. In other words, I could read between the lines. In other words, it was not going to include LGBTQIA plus minus division sign. It was going to be strictly like we're going to talk about, I don't know, um, you know, females, menstruate, and when they do that, they can get pregnant. And if you have sex, there's a chance that you can get a girl pregnant. and you can also catch these types of diseases. That's how I took the letter when I read it.
Yeah, that's how it was. That's pretty much how it was. It wasn't. It was teaching you basic sexual, like the biological sexual things, like the real stuff, like what happens to a girl's body, what happens to a boy's body,
Mhm.
all that stuff that was said. That's how we were taught. The alphabet crew never came up. You know what I'm saying? And what you feel never came up, other than arousal or something like that. Outside of that, feelings and identifying as that didn't exist. They only taught straight biological facts and stuff like that. So yeah, it wasn't. They didn't include a whole bunch of other stuff and everything. So yeah,
Mhm. Mhm.
and they definitely got a permission slip that we could take the class.
Mhm.
Well, I just think that on that part, like we just need to come together and have a kumbaya of how we're going to address that as parents, because it's only up to us of how we want that to be addressed. Like, because some of us is going to say, no, I don't want it to be addressed at all. Let me do this at home in the confines of my own home. I said to um um my co-host earlier, I think that there is going to be a bias. Is parents have a bias where some of the truth is not going to be told because we don't want them to know that. So I think it's better from a professional. And when it comes down to the schools, we may need to come to a email of options
Mhm.
and agree to some things. You
Mhm.
know, that it can be so simple. It can be just so simple. But we're gonna get
So
into this next one. We'll get into this next one and play.
is that Candace?
That's Candace. Oh, funky ass.
My
Come
girl.
on, play. Yeah, like a little funky ass.
I know. That's
Come
why I
on,
said
play. That's all the way. I think I gotta restart. Wait. Let me restart. Let me restart.
I was gonna say, let me see if I'm in the game if it's not working, because it should have auto played right there.
In the 70s, before they got
There we
Planned Parenthood
go.
went in the classroom and started funding initiatives, and they started teaching sex education. There used to not be sex education in school, and the way that they got it into the classroom in the 70s was by saying, it's better to teach them, which is what you're saying, because then they'll be more responsible. It actually, within one decade, it flipped. The majority of high schoolers were graduating with their virginity before there was sex education, and then when they put sex education in the classroom, the majority of them within 10 years were not graduating with their virginity. So it actually sexualized children.
But Candy said that might not be a good idea, because if you teach them about the forbidden fruit, they might want to eat it.
Which is what I was
Now,
saying
we
earlier.
talked about that earlier. Yeah, we talked about
Right.
that
That's what
earlier
I
as
said earlier.
well.
That's what I said. Like I was saying, like boys are always taught as the villains. It's like little girls are always taught, watch out for these little boys. These little boys just want one thing. That's all they want. After they get it, he gonna leave you alone. But in my experience, and I have put a poll on Facebook a few years ago where I asked all the fellas, when you lost your virginity, was it your idea or hers? And like 80% of the dudes was like it was her. and I'm and I'm one of them dudes. I was walking her home from school and all of that. Oh, you can come in. Ain't nobody here. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like I said, I was wanting to go home and play Super Nintendo. That's what was on my mind. That was what on my mind. I wasn't thinking about just, you know what I'm saying? Because it was never introduced, that thought was never introduced. But once I did it, she turned me out. And from that point forward, I want to get some more. Can I get it again? We'll do it again. Can you do to me what we did yesterday? You know, you know, you know what I'm saying?
And I said in a rebuttal, my rebuttal was, I think everyone that lost their virginity feels that way. From a woman's standpoint too. She's going to say, well, the other person wanted it more than I did. I don't think no little girl is in a rush to lose their virginity. Ain't that shit hurt? So we're not in a rush to feel pain.
But hold on, I
There's
gotta agree with Tim because that is actually what I teach. Well, like when William went into middle school, I had a full-fledged conversation with him. I said, look, you're in middle school, you're in sixth grade. That means you have sixth graders, seventh graders, eighth graders. I said a lot of those young ladies are gonna be on their menstrual, and a lot of these young ladies are gonna think that you're cute, and they might wanna, make you do something that, you might not supposed to be doing. So I made it, clear. I said, that thing down there is for peeing purposes only at this time. So I have to agree with Tim because I do know that a lot of girls do have that idea. And a lot of times it is the girl's idea. I've seen it plenty of times with my friends. I can honestly say that that's not how I lost my little virginity. It wasn't my damn idea. It wasn't like, oh, come over, and my dad not home, and nah, it just happened when it happened. But a lot of times, my friends and I would listen to them. It was literally the girls, and he is actually right about that. At least from my experience, from what I saw.
And to
My
touch on something you said, that I think that's a nuance that I don't understand just because I'm not a female. It's because, I can only speak from a male perspective on how a lot of men lost our virginities. But then you guys have, the girl that I lost my virginity to, she wasn't no virgin. So, she had so but the whole thing about it is that still I just think that these narratives that they pass, like little boys are the predators, little boys is out here after one thing, little boys is this, little boy. It's like guys are all, that's what we spoke about earlier. And everything, men are the villains. Earlier we spoke about the sexual revolution. And the sexual revolution was literally like an offshoot of feminism, of men being the villains of, why are women being held to a standard that men don't hold themselves to? Because men can be promiscuous and it's celebrated, but if women are promiscuous, then it's frowned upon. And birth control gave women the opportunity to be more fluid and free with their sexuality, and but yet it still carried that stigma. And I can understand that sentiment, but at the same time, men don't value men place value in different places than where women place value.
Mhm.
And so that's just a part of that needs to be considered both ways. And I know that most women will say, well, we don't care about what you think, but it's like, okay, well, and
I
I and
wouldn't
I
say that. I would argue that men don't value virginity. That's what I would argue.
well, we don't. That's what I'm saying. We don't value virginity, but we still place a value in our minds on how we value our women. A man will only treat a woman based on the value he sees in that woman and he places on her himself. It don't matter how dope and fly she thinks she is. It don't matter if she can, like, I got this degree and I did this and I doing and I own a house and I did. If that man only see her as a piece of thing to lay on and throw away, that's the value he see in her. But
Mhm.
another man may not see that. So you know what I mean? So just because one man, it's where that cliche comes from. One man's trash is another man's treasure. And that's where the whole concept
Hmm.
of simps, that's where the concept of simps come from. Because it's a dude that's like, oh, has she been ran through and you wifed her up? Well, that person never took the time to get to know her as a person. She might have been a wonderful, beautiful person, but he couldn't see past the value that he placed on him as his individual self. He didn't see anything past. She got a big old behind. She got some big old boobies. I just want to do this. So that he never placed that value in her. So for men,
Hmm.
this is just me speaking from my opinion. Men will only treat women based on the value that he as an individual sees in her. And it varies from man to man. So one
It
man,
also,
like go ahead.
right. It also depends on that man's phase in life he's in. Because that's something that a lot of women don't understand or even know sometimes, because the phase of life that man is in is going to is going to determine where he places importance when it comes to women. Because when we're younger, we have a whole lot of superficial stuff we place importance on. As we get older, those things tend to not matter as much. You understand? So those type of value systems, they're going to change depending on where that man is in his life as far as his phase of manhood, and that's just a fact. um, and every man is going to behave a certain way depending on what phase of manhood he's in. There's a couple of phases. No matter how good the woman is, he's never going to be faithful. But once he gets past that phase and out of that, and that's out of him, you know what I'm saying? He's going to place value on different things, and stuff like that. And oftentimes, women, they'll link up with the guy who's not mentally prepared to be in anything fake, long term. And if he is, sometimes it's out of convenience.
A
Well, can
lot of
I ask?
that. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Let me ask a quick question. This kind of going back to you, Tim, where you were like, pretty much saying that a lot of times that the girls would like initiate the sexual experience or whatever. And it got me to thinking, is it maybe because as women, we feel that a man or boy, because we're talking about youngins right now. So let's keep it to the youngins. So if he doesn't touch me, or if he doesn't try to be with me, then he doesn't really like me. Is that maybe possibly where that comes from?
Well, there's a lot of nuances that come with that too, because we all old enough to come from that era of when the little boy pushed the girl down, and she go tell her mommy, Timmy pushed me down, mom. Timmy pushed me down, mommy. Her
Let me
mama
get
will
that.
say, that's because he like you. Right?
That's
Well,
the most
yeah, we
So,
toxic
all got
shit.
that lesson. Like,
but but
boys
but,
only
but no,
beat you up
this
because
what
he
I'm
like
getting at.
you.
This what I'm getting at though. So let's extrapolate that. You're telling a child in their most impressionable years of life, playing on the
Mhm,
playground, playing on the swings and the monkey bars, when the boy assaults you, it means he likes you.
mhm,
Right,
Look at the trauma that puts in right there.
right.
mhm,
So I can only imagine when they become teenagers, and this is all hypothetical. I ain't never been a teenage girl one day in my life. So y'all feel free to interject, ladies, at any time. So I'm guessing that if he's not being aggressive with her, that translates from that lesson as a kid that he don't like you because he's not being aggressive. Because
Right.
aggression was taught to me as a little girl that that's a sign of interest.
Hmm.
So if he's not actively trying to make this happen, I gotta show him what's happening.
mhm.
That's just
That
my
that
opinion on it.
that makes sense. But that's why I brought it up, because I was thinking, I was like, well, a lot of times for women, and this is me speaking as a woman, like if you're not showing me affection or even interest, and I'm thinking outside the box. Y'all remember I've been married 15 years with the same damn man. But if you're not showing me interest, then it's like, okay, do you really like me? Like, do you
Hmm.
really love me? And if you're not showing those types of affections, it doesn't necessarily have to be penetration and sex. It could just be just small things. And I think that a lot of times that girls, because I think we're talking more about
Right.
younger people, that if that young boy isn't showing them that affection, they're like, well, he doesn't even really like me because he hasn't even tried to kiss me, or he hasn't even given me a hug or anything. So he must not like me. You see where I'm going with that?
Yeah, I had that situation happen to me when I was in college. The young lady, fully developed, extremely attractive. We would always meet at at Bayfront and dance and walk around and go into the mall area and all that stuff like that. And we just spend time, and we would always happen to meet up. And then one day she asked me, she says, "Well, do you think I'm pretty?" I'm like, yeah. What you mean? You're gorgeous. What you talking about? She said, "Well, why have you never tried anything or tried to do anything?" And I told her, I said, because if I did that, I'd be just like everybody else. I said, I do things a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? I do the opposite of what the other guys do. You know what I'm saying? Every day you got a guy trying to push up on you. What makes me different if I did the same thing? And she was like, I've never thought of it that way. I said, well, it's not that you're not attractive. You're gorgeous. That's one of the reasons why I like chilling with you, because you're just gorgeous. I just love having you around. And then she asked me the big question, like, will you be my first? First what? Because I'm looking at this chick like, first what? Like, what are you talking about?
First what?
And she was like first. I was like, ain't no way. I'm sorry, it ain't no way. Ain't no way. But it was true. It was true. I was like, wow. She's like, because I know what they want when they first approach me, and I'm not gonna give it to them. And it was like the opposite. She's like, because I didn't pursue her in that way, she took more of an interest, which was interesting to me. 'Cause I was like, oh, okay, and that's how that happened with her. But you know, but women are the gatekeepers. Men do who they're allowed to do. Women do who they choose to do.
Well,
We talked
we
about
know
that earlier,
that
Keisha.
we
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 talked about
we
that
we we
earlier.
know we did talk about that, and I always said that it's not a lot of men that's going to deny sex, right? Right? And we were talking about the hookup culture. This is how the conversation came up. I was talking about the
Hmm.
hookup culture and how he was like, damn, I kind of think men make out like a fat cat because he's getting the Uchi out the end of the day. And I said, just because he's getting the Uchi doesn't mean he's satisfied with it. So it's a 50-50 gamble. He might get some Uchi that's some terrible snatch, and she might get some beefcake that wasn't cooked right. Like you never know. Like it's a gamble within it all. And women do have like I said, it's not a lot of men that's just not going to turn down sex. Women going to turn you down. Women turn down sex, I think, way more times than they initiate it. So there's that.
Yeah.
And I told guys to start valuing your beefcake.
You said what?
Start value. We tell
I'm
women to
laughing at
value their
beefcake.
beefcake.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I said, I ain't say beefcake today, earlier. I'm saying it now because I ain't gonna repeat what I said because it was very
No,
vulgar.
I didn't hear value. I didn't know what you said because it didn't come across clear. You
Yeah,
said
well,
value. So
got
yeah,
to start valuing the
yeah.
beefcake. Take pride in it. Y'all tell us women we need to take pride in ours. Don't be giving it away to every guy. Don't be giving it away to every girl just because
Well,
she say yeah.
I always been
Yeah.
picky. Everybody just don't get that. I'm sorry.
You gotta
Yeah.
value that thing. If
Uh,
it's some good beefcake,
I
oh, that thing is a
I'm not
weapon.
gonna I'm not gonna
It's
lie, man. I was out
a
there
weapon,
taking my
man. I'm
nuts,
just saying.
rolling them like craps, man. I was out there shaking rolling the dice. Come on. I was
Yeah.
out there rolling
He was out there
I have
getting as much beefcake as he could. I mean, as
yeah,
much
I wasn't
cootie
getting no
cat as he
beefcake.
could.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
okay, yeah, clean that
He
up.
was
Clean
getting
that
a
up
cootie
for me.
cat.
Yeah, clean that up. Yeah, clean that all up.
I forgot what
Yeah.
I called it. What I called the female parts, but he
Uchi
was out
Uchi
there getting
Wally. Uchi. The
I
Uchi.
said
The
Uchi. Oh yeah,
Uchi.
he was out there getting the Uchi. I don't think it's anything wrong with having safe sex at all.
Hey, Shawana,
Hey,
appreciate you
hey,
tuning in.
Shawanda. Shout out to Shawana. If you want to come up, honey, I think you're watching it from my end. Just click that little link and post a picture. You don't gotta come on camera, but you could come up here and voice your opinion.
Yeah, put your little icon, little picture icon.
Put your little avatar up there. I'm just saying.
I mean,
saying,
like
man.
for me,
Nothing wrong with
I know,
safe sex. Nothing wrong with that.
I know with
Okay.
Billy, like Billy didn't touch me for 3 months. There was a post recently about the girl. I know y'all saw it. I guess they went on a date and she was trying to get him to come into the apartment or house, and he just kissed her gently on the cheek and gave what she said a church hug, and then she called her sneaky link because she thought she was gonna get her, back rocked that night. But like my husband was the opposite. My husband, it was exactly like him, where he would give me, the kiss on the cheek, give me the hug. And this went on for like 3 months. And I didn't think like I never thought like, oh my God, am I like ugly? Do I smell bad or something like that? Like, why is he not pursuing me? But when I finally, and I could say this,
We lose her?
Just for a moment.
I can have sex with any woman, but I looked at you differently, and I didn't want to mess that up with sex. Therefore, I treated you the way that I saw you, and I saw you as a wife. I saw you as the mother of my children. So sometimes we women can misconstrue that, is what I'm saying. Because I was like, well, what the hell took you so long? I ain't gonna lie, that's what I said. What the hell took you so long? And most women probably would have been like, well, oh, he must be rainbow, or he must be this, or he's sassy, he ain't even tried yet. But again, once he explained it, I was like, oh, okay. I felt honored. I was like, oh, okay, that's what's up.
They thought he played the tambourine.
Yeah, yeah, they thought it was but a lot of women feel that way, like, and that was the point of my question, because a lot of women feel, we use our sexual attractiveness, and if a man isn't like full blown trying to get at us, it makes us feel like we're unattractive. Maybe not unattractive, but maybe unwanted or not a priority.
Well, see,
Which I think that needs to change.
yeah, and see, that's the thing. That's the thing about all of this dysfunction and desensitization in the dating game and sexuality and stuff like that. When a man is trying to be respectful, some women can't even recognize it. And stuff like that. Like that woman that you was talking about within that post, within that video. Like, and that's the other reason why some men, they don't trust women as far as they can throw them, because it's like, okay, you already got somebody on speed dial, and you going out on a date trying to link up with me, but you like, you literally not even, it's not even a split minute where you done got somebody else. You know what? This didn't go good. Come on over. Like how many degrees of separation is it from that back pocket dude that you got? You know what I'm saying? It's always that back pocket dude that, some men we think about, like, okay, are you serious? We watch that. We pay attention to that. You know what I'm saying? We don't like, just because men don't say much to some women, don't think that you're not being paid attention to. We see it, especially online. We see it. We listen. We look at what you post and stuff like that. I had an ex who was I was trying to be respectful. I would try to jump up bones as soon as you came in the house, but I think that's what she wanted. But I guess I took a little too long and she jumped mine. You know. So sometimes, you just gotta. I don't know. It's, some women ain't used to being treated with respect, so they don't expect respect. And then when the guy comes at you the right way, she can't even see it. He's a square. He's this. He's that.
I agree.
So
No, I agree. I the shit. Billy was fun, so I ain't giving in.
Yeah.
But I said, if it happened, it happened, whatever. But like you said, it's like some people are so used to dysfunction, or women are so used to like men, wanting to have sex with them on the first date or the third date or maybe even the fifth date. Let's say the fifth date is within a week, maybe y'all went out 5 days a week. I don't know. And they expect that. And then so when they come across a guy that doesn't expect that, they don't even know what the hell to do with it. They're like, wait a minute, am I funky? Do I not look good? Am I not attractive? And I do
That
think that a lot of women feel that way.
that falls into hookup culture, like because I hear it a lot. Like they have this concept, or I hear women say this, that they want to have sex first and then figure out if they like you later, because they don't want to take
Yeah.
the time. They don't want to take the time to get to know you and invest all of these feelings into you. And then when then time for that to happen and it don't work and it's terrible, it's trash or whatever, then it's like, well, I wasted all of this time. I'm invested now. And I know that this can't go no further because they don't meet what I need them to meet in this area. And it's going to open the door for infidelity. I think it's backwards. I understand it in theory. I still think it's backwards,
Mhm.
but I still understand it in theory. So it's a double-edged sword for me.
It is.
Can we get
Kind of
into
like
this video real quick, people?
Yeah,
okay,
let's get into another video.
okay.
Stop acting like y'all kissed everyone y'all had sex with. Oh, you be having that glory hole sex. Yeah, kissing is normal when it comes to sex. Who y'all be fucking? Just because kissing is normal to you doesn't mean everyone enjoys it or enjoys foreplay. Y'all just be sticking it in. Y'all don't even hug first or nothing. Guys, it is for real fucking miserable out here. It is god awful out here. There are people who are having sex without kissing or doing foreplay. Oh my god.
I don't think I understand that.
That's basically she's saying hookup culture is terrible because like they got people out here that's having sex and they not even like intimate. You know what I mean? They
Right,
just
okay.
they're not even being intimate. They just like I got the next one queued up already. Let me see if it'll let me share the screen.
All right. Oh, you got that one. I ain't had that one queued. I had another one. But go
All
ahead.
right, here we go.
You are lying to yourself about hookup culture. Casually hooking up and getting into situationships that don't go anywhere is unfortunately so toxic to you as a woman. But society has made you believe it's okay. It doesn't really matter. This is why it matters. Number one, giving up your body adds to another layer of pain that's inevitably going to come when this man does not commit to you. Number two, you're giving yourself up to a man who has his own history, who might operate from his own wounded places, who might create more insecurities for you, who probably has his own erotic thoughts and desires that might not even align to yours. Number three, you're disconnecting to your body. Hookup culture makes you believe that you're going to get more experience. That's really not true. Every time you get into a new relationship, it's a new body to learn anyways. And what you should be learning is your own body, what feels good to you. Because the truth is, majority of women disconnect from their own bodies to connect to his.
I don't know what type of sex she having.
I didn't hear too
but I'll
much
be well
wrong that-
connected. I don't know what she talking about.
So
I'll be well
I'll say,
connected.
so I'll say this as a woman, there are. This is me. I'm on my Tim thing. This is me and my opinion only. For me, I cannot just go out and have sex with some random person. If I don't have an emotional connection to you, it's not happening. And even if it did happen, I can guarantee you it was whack as hell. It was. It was just whack as hell. I blocked you. I ain't never call you again. You ain't call me. Because that's how whack it was going to be. And that is what she, in my opinion, is pretty much saying that a lot of these women in the hookup culture, they just like Sookie getting their coochie scratched. That's all they're doing. They're getting their coochie scratched. There's no intimacy. There's no emotional connection to that person. Me
There's
personally,
no
I
feeling in
can't
it.
do it.
There's no
I gotta
feeling in
have
it. A lot of
some
people
sort.
are.
Yeah, I gotta have some kind of emotional connection to you. I don't think I've ever slept with a man that I did not have emotional. I didn't go to the club and then we left because you bought me a drink, and then we went to IHOP, and then we went in the back of your car, or you got a room and you
Man,
scratched
you
my coochie.
better
It
leave
just
these
didn't
some of the viewers alone. Just stop picking on some of the people that's gonna watch this, gonna get mad.
happen.
No, I mean
Yeah.
she make a point, and that goes
No,
for men
because,
too. But that goes for men
no,
too. Stop
absolutely.
having
But
that
no, I was gonna say for the
emotional
men,
sex.
but I think that it also does apply to men because there are some tender tipped men. I will say that. I'm not saying that, but for the most part, I think in my opinion, me personally, not speaking for all men, I think that men have the ability to disconnect more
Yes.
because
Yes.
because we'll hump a hole in the wall, we'll hump a tube sock at the house, you know. you know, we, you know what I mean? Like we'll have sex with ourselves. So if it's different for us because like Dedrick mentioned earlier, men do with who we can, women do with who they want. So if the opportunity, if we go through a drought for a while, you know what I'm saying, and somebody smile at you with a snaggled tooth, you might get to be like, well, I wonder what them gums feel like. You know, you'll justify it some kind of way.
But she had a nice body. She had a
you
good
you
personality.
you'll justify it.
This is
Like
what I think.
there was a comedian named Adele Gibbons. Real quick, I'm sorry. She was talking about how men move because this is back when she had a figure, and she was like, dudes will do stuff like they'll meet a woman that got an eye right here smacking the bit of her forehead, and be like, if his homies will be teasing him like, oh, you mess with the 3-eyed chick, oh man, you didn't hit an all-time low out there messing with the 3-eyed chick. Oh, shut up, here she come. She walked by, look. Like, she got ass though. I can't be mad at you for that, homie.
Right.
Like it's different for us in that way.
Oh my God, why am I kissing her?
Well, I mean, because and to add to what Timothy said, like, but that's real though. We can compartmentalize like a mug, like, and it has nothing to do with our feelings. And if whatever go down, it go down, and it's on to the next. We ain't thinking we ain't think having we in our heads about it. We're not doing all that. Especially when we're in that phase, we just trying to put them notches on the belt. It like Now for me personally, now I gotta be attracted to the person. Now if they look like a booger wolf, I don't care what their body look like. I can't do it because I need to I need to have something visually stimulating to me. But that's just me. Now some dudes, they'll like what Bad said, that hole in the wall is good enough, sock good enough, pillow good like, you know what I'm saying. But for me, it's just a little bit different. I like an attractive woman laying with me. I can't risk rolling over and my fist ball up by itself looking at this chick, you know what I'm saying. Like, that's not something I'm looking forward to.
That's why you make her leave. She don't let us spend the night.
Well,
That's
you
that's
do
that's
that for
that's rule number one. After the club, if you leaving with liquor and you leaving with T-bars, you got to make sure that you gone, she gone before y'all wake up, because you gonna wake up and you gonna see Patty LaBelle. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think women do the same thing, especially in the hookup culture. I think outside of what Miss Phil said, where she has to date, she can't have sex outside of emotional intimacy. Emotional intimacy. So where you're doing a hookup culture thing, there isn't always emotional intimacy coming from men, right? So women got to be able to have an orgasm outside of that as well. And we're not saying that, it's women by the boatloads not having orgasms in the hookup culture. They are, but I think they come apart. So they do the same shit. They all in their head with it as well. Like you might be Denzel that day in her head.
All right.
As it's
I got a
going on.
video
In
right
her
here. Oh, go
head.
ahead, Jess.
No, I was
Yeah,
gonna say in her head, like she
in
just said,
her
in
head.
her head. You
Like
might be
she's in her
Denzel that
head.
day.
Like she's all in her head, and that's how. I want to say, I ain't gonna say a lot. I think many women that is in the hookup culture be getting off that way. Like they be all in their head with it.
Yeah, I can
I
agree
see
with
that.
that. This video right here, I think this is what I was talking about earlier. She says when I was saying that hookup culture benefits men over women.
Because hookup culture benefits guys more than it will ever benefit girls. Some people are going to disagree with me, but let me explain. For starters, we've been new that guys mainly just want sex. They rarely want commitment, but will do practically anything to get laid. Whereas girls, we're not super horn dogs. Some of us are, but not to that extreme. Y'all want to hook up like equally and with no commitment, whatever. Like you do, you live your life. I'm not judging. The problem is that guys tend to lead girls on because they want to keep getting what they want, which is a hookup. And then girls are painted out to be clingy or obsessive or psycho because they catch feelings. But realistically, it should be understandable to catch feelings when you're doing something so intimate instead of just being painted out as crazy. And what do girls even gain from it? Honestly, 5 minutes of faking it and not finishing 99% of the time, I really don't think I'm missing out.
Back to me saying they don't be getting off. I said that.
Which means
Everything
she's
she
missing
said.
out.
When I'm saying everything I'm saying, even when she get a partner, some guy that she like, her feelings is going to cloud the fact that her ass still ain't getting the hell off.
And whose fault is that?
Her fault. No, that is her fault. Hey, she depending on the man to get her off instead of teaching the man how to get her off. That's one. You never learning how to fucking get yourself off because you still dependent on that man to know it for you. So when you do get a guy that got that demon type freaking beefcake, your feelings is in aroused. Now your feelings is up. Now you feeling crazy. Now you want to go bust out the windows of his car. And you talking about something, you love him. You don't love him. You just never had good D before.
Just like how he make you feel. That's what you love.
You love the orgasm, sis. Like you should have got good D in your life. Now you know what good D is. Now you know how to teach that the next dude. Take notes. Okay, he went to the left and he curved right. I like that. Take a mental note.
But see, that's what I'm saying as far as I like I always say, I've been with the same man for 15 years, so I'm way out of the hookup culture. But I would think that even if I were to go back into like, dating scene or something like that, I would have to learn my partner. The first experience might not be the best experience because we haven't learned what one another likes. We don't know yet.
That
So
part.
it might not be the worst experience, but it might not be the best experience. But then if you actually like that dude or you like that girl, then you're like, okay, well, yeah, that one didn't work right. So let me figure out what she likes. Let me figure out what he likes so I can adjust accordingly to satisfy the person that I'm with. And that's why I can't understand like just having sex and getting your coochie scratched. I don't get that one. Your Uchi scratch.
My thing is this. In her mind, everything was going good. This whole video was like, okay, points, finger snaps. And then she said something that was like, okay, this is a you problem, not a dude's problem. And the part where she said, well, most of us ain't getting off anyway. Wait a minute. You're not getting off. Your ass wouldn't get off whether you knew the guy or not. That's what you said. You said that's the reason why hookup culture is no point of it. Hey, I'm not gonna get off. I'm over here putting my little feelings in you, and you ain't gonna give it back to me. And at the end of the day, even if you did give me your feelings, that's the least you could do because I ain't gonna get off anyway. Like you could, the least you could do is the least you can do is give me a relationship because I'm never gonna get sexually satisfied. What, bitch? You're gonna cheat on me. That's all I heard. Like,
I was. You got something you want to add, Dedrick?
No, it's just she's right. She's right because that's a her problem. Because my thing is, why would you why would you expect someone else to know what you don't even know? Like
that part.
why would you expect somebody else to know you better than you know you? Yes, there's some individuals out here who knows their way around a woman's lady parts. Yeah, we you get the hands and everything going on, and yeah, you know how to put the combinations together. Yeah, there's a lot of men who do. However, that does not mean it works for every woman. Every woman don't have the same triggers. Every woman don't have the same thing. So at the same time, you can't expect somebody else to know you better than you know you. You know what I'm saying? And then when you sit there and say, well, we ain't getting satisfied, as if it's the guy's fault. That guy's probably there for his satisfaction. Once he gets his nut, he don't care what the devil you do.
Yeah, he out the door. He out the
He
door.
got, yeah. And then you sitting there, well, it was trash. It was not for him. He got what he wanted.
And that's what I was telling her earlier today when we spoke on this. So this comment right here I got on the screen kind of goes with the next. I think this is the last video too for out of our notes. This comment says the only women that benefit from hookup culture are escorts and prostitutes. They get paid regardless of how lame the sex is. So
Yeah.
now I got a video queued up right now of a woman that's gonna defend hookup culture. Granted, she's talking to a group of men, but she's attempting to defend hookup culture. So let me pull that up right now.
Bless her heart.
And that's what they say in the video.
He said, "Bless our heart."
I feel like it's perfectly fine to feel like you want to be a part of hookup culture or like sleep around when you're younger to try to figure out what
I think that's perfectly fine. And then later on, want to have something serious. I don't think sleeping around is a bad thing. I really don't think so. Not for men or women.
But at some point, the epiphany phase needs to end, and reality needs to set in.
If you want to have a serious relationship, yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
You're 24.
Yeah.
God bless you. Love you. You have no idea how many girls when I was 24, just getting started in the South Beach party scene in my early 20s, are still out there single, living it up.
Well, they can do that if they want,
No,
right?
they cannot.
Can't do that?
Yeah, they can
What if
do
that's
whatever
what
they
makes them
want.
happy?
But when they cry themselves to sleep, like, why can't I find a good man? It's like, because you passed him 10 years ago.
You act like
wanted to hook it up,
No,
do the
it's
hookup culture
because
thing.
they're looking for the plastic because they are plastic. That's why. Because the
Oh
people
my
in Miami are that way. It's not like you look for a
How long
serious
have you lived
relationship
in Miami now? You got a whole synopsis
One
of the
and a
city?
half years.
Oh, okay.
But I've lived all over the
it all
planet.
figured out.
I've lived
These
in LA,
rules
I lived
apply
here, I lived in
nationally and
Sweden, I lived in New
internationally.
Zealand. I've been all over the place. I probably lived more places than you guys have.
That was weird to say.
So
That was
she
very
thinks
weird. Very weird. Go ahead, brother.
like because she lived all over the place. So that basically you telling me you're a world travel hoe. Like I'm sorry, are you a world travel
No, you
donut?
were right the first time.
Like come on, man. Like women, they don't understand. Like that doesn't make you more valuable. Like what the heck? I don't understand. I don't understand.
I don't agree with that comment right there. I'm gonna put it back up even to it says, 304s get married every day. There's always a desperate man willing to settle for anything. And the reason I disagree with that is because I have my own personal gripe with the concept of settling. Because what exactly is settling? Because there's a lot of women that say, "Oh, I'll never settle, never settle. If you can't, you gotta don't settle for less than what you deserve." And those same people end up settling to be by themselves, like they talked about in that video. Why I can't find nobody? Why I can't? Where are the good men at? Even the other way around? They got a lot of men that are ain't worth a quarter men that can't find a woman. They got a lot of good men that's got it all going on, and they can't get women either. So the concept of settling, to me, in my mind, this is just me, emphasis on my opinion, is that there's a group of people that conflate compromise and settle as the same thing, as synonymous. That's what I think it is. I think people view compromising as settling, but it's like, no, you have to, there's going to be some concession in the relationships, because guess what? There's two people in this relationship. It's not just you and what you want. And that goes for either gender, men and women. It's not just you, sir. It's not just you, woman. It's two people in this situation. You guys have to come to a compromise. It's not settling, but that's what's conflated. And I'll end the plane.
It's very heavily conflated, especially in these social media conversations where women don't want to compromise financially, neither do men. And it's a lot of double standards going on.
I agree with
But
that.
what is really settling? Like I think I honestly, to piggy off of that, honestly, what is settling? Is settling like you didn't get what you wanted, but you actually got what you are deserving of, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
If I'm a woman who makes $50,000 a year and I find a man that makes $50,000 a year, that's probably who I deserve. I might not deserve a man that makes $500,000 a year because maybe I got 3 kids by 3 different baby daddies, and maybe that man doesn't want to deal with that. So, is it really like settling, or is this what you deserve?
But what constitutes deserve though? Because my thing is that if you, even if you make the minimum and you're a great person, you know what I'm saying, you treated people kindly, you know, you don't have those 3 or 4 tendencies and different things like that. You know how to be a woman to a man. You know, you have all those intangible qualities that any great man would look for. And you say, well, and a guy who makes just as much as you do comes along, or whatever the case is, who's to say you don't deserve someone who makes $200,000? You know what I'm saying? Because look, you're a great person. Why wouldn't you deserve greatness? Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like when people say deserve, sometimes just like with what y'all just was trying to decide what settling means. Okay, what does settling mean for that person? Because when you say deserve, if you're a great person and you know you treat people right and you know you would treat a man amazing, or I know I would treat a woman amazing, don't you think I would deserve the greatest of the greatest? Because I feel like I would treat that person wonderfully. But I just feel like deserve is a little bit, I don't know. You have to define what what deserve means to you, because sometimes people take less. When you say settling, I think people give up on themselves and then take something that they shouldn't take. That's what settling is for me. They'll accept way less than what they should give themselves credit for. That's what settling is to me. Settling is just taking way less than you absolutely should when you could do better.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
I can agree with that too. So maybe deserve wasn't the right word to use, but again, it's like, and I'm more or less thinking outside of where, and not to be rude to anybody, but like if you have these standards that you don't even come
Yeah,
close to
yeah,
being close to, but that's what you're seeking in another person, in a man, then why would that man um settle for you, in other words?
right.
So going back to the word settle, like why would he settle for you? No different than why would a woman settle for, a guy that's a bum and doesn't do anything, and things of that nature. So I guess deserve was a wrong word to try to say what I was trying to convey in the conversation.
Oh, okay.
But we have to get realistic with our expectations.
Wait a minute, Trey. I'm trying to figure it out for you. Give me a second.
We have to be realistic with our expectations, whether man or woman. A man, who isn't doing X, Y, Z can't say, I want this type of woman. I want a traditional woman that's going to stay home and cook and clean, but he's out running the streets, hanging with his boys all day. You're not going to get that traditional woman, and vice versa. If a woman says, I want a traditional man who's going to provide and protect, and I get to stay at home, then guess what? You're going to have to cook, and you're going to have to clean, and you have to do the freaking laundry. It's just really that simple, in my opinion. That's my outlook.
Yeah.
So I think
totally
a lot of
agree.
times we just have this unrealistic expectations of what we're looking for. It doesn't necessarily have to do with deserve or mean. You just have to realize who you are, what you bring to the table, what you're going to do, what you're willing to do, what you're not willing to do, and then find that person that is going to be in line with what it is that you have as well.
Mm-hmm. I know.
I think
I just know.
Trey, I think hold on for a second, you guys. I think Timothy is pin the link on to get up on the StreamYard on our channel together. The more contentious, the more conversations with the Irish black man. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Dedrick.
No, you're good. You're good. I mean, I think when you talk about realistic, I think this society is already back, butt backwards. So realistic doesn't even register for most of these people, because they live in a world of fantasy and social media, and stuff like that. And their reality, they don't have a reflection in the mirror. They just, there's no real reality there when it comes to because you have some women who have multiple kids who think that they're just as valuable as a woman who has no kids, and stuff like that. And when I say value, I'm talking about what you have to offer and bring to the table. Because my thing is, you bringing a whole lot of mouths to feed to the table. You know what I'm saying? And then you're expecting to get the best man. The best man ain't choosing you. I'm sorry, but the best man isn't choosing you, because most men, when they don't have kids, they want a legacy of their own. So when you already have kids and you already got your tubes tied, you already done having kids, you're not his best option. So you putting yourself out there where I want this type of guy, and he's making all this money up here. But look at what you're bringing to the table. You're bringing a whole lot of liabilities to the table. And I hate to say it that way, but that's just the truth. Because at the end of the day, what's most of these women out here, it's like, okay, what are you doing for me? What you gotta pay this, you gotta do this, but hold up, you got all these churn, and a lot of these kids don't have the same dad, but you expecting this dude to step in and cover all of y'all. That's taken away from his bottom line. That's taken away from his bottom line. And then when you're asked a direct question as to what do you have to offer? Like, what do you, the very first thing a lot of them say, me. Well, look at me. What does that even mean? What is that? Look at you. We can go online and look at women. Like, what else are you, what are you talking about? Look at me. What does that mean? Look at all this. Okay, chick over there got all that too. Chick over here got all that too. What else?
Chick over here. Oh, where's she at? In the kitchen. She over there got all that and ain't got none of the attitude. So.
I'll go figure. But women, those women are not looking at none of that. Because they in their head, it's mega mind. Their mind is so huge. Like, you need to deflate your head, get out of yourself, and really look at the reality. So you expecting way up here, but you know what I'm saying? The average guy that's approaching you, you might need to give him some time, because that guy might be a working class dude, blue collar dude, whomever he is, whatever it is he does, and he probably will give you the best attention and everything that you need. But you're sitting over here looking at a guy that you don't even freaking measure up to.
And
But in
not even just
hindsight,
that.
who said that that's not the right guy for her? The average guy. Why they
That's what
keep
I'm
picking a
saying.
guy
Yeah.
That's what he's
that
saying.
has all the money? Well, I'm asking. I actually agreeing with you. Why do they think that the guy that has all the money and thousands of dollars a year is the right guy for them, knowing where they're at in life? It's all in
Hypergamy.
their fucking man. It's not even
Hypergamy.
hypergamy at that moment, because that's not even hypergamy.
I
Well,
agree. It's not
the
high
reason
permanent.
why the reason I'm saying it is
Like, yeah, like that's
hypergamous.
just dumb. That don't even make sense.
The reason why I'm saying it's hypergamous is because it is an absolute cliche that, you know, young girls are taught: get you a man that can take care of you, get you marry you, the cliche, marry a doctor, marry a lawyer. That's been taught. That's a thing. Let's not act like let's not pretend that it's not instilled into them. And like you were saying, this is instilled to them, but in their mind internally, no matter what happens to them, it doesn't devalue them. Like the young 24-year-old girl was saying in the video, you know, go out there and I get what she's saying. Go out there and experience different things, learn what you do like and what you don't like. I get that. But at the same time, accept the consequence that comes with that. And the consequence that comes with that is men don't value things the same way women value things, and women don't value things the same way men value things. We are in that way, we are fundamentally different.
But I have to agree with Morphine. Like, that's not hypergamy. Hypergamy to me is a woman who is childless, who is ready, like, to get married and have children with this man, and she wants to build a family. And that to me is hypergamy. Hypergamy is not after you done had 3 kids by 3 different baby daddies. Now you want to find a man that your baby daddies ain't even or weren't the type of men. Now you want to find this man to take care of you and these 3 kids that don't even belong to him. That's not right, and that's not
But
hypergamy, in my
well,
opinion.
okay, because hypergamy just means to marry up. So a cashier at McDonald's, if she marries a supervisor at Walmart, that's hypergamy.
I understand that,
Yeah,
but what I'm
that's
saying is
but
that we
what I'm
need
saying, but
to.
what I'm saying is that woman that's a cashier at McDonald's will look at the dude, the supervisor at McDonald's, and be like, "Negro, please, you're a supervisor at Walmart. If you don't get out of here with that." And he could make 3 times what she make at that hamburger stand. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
why I said that's not hypergamy, because they want it's an old
It's
Eminem
delusion,
verse.
I guess.
Yeah, it's delusion, because they see what's better and what's better to achieve. The better to achieve is the damn supervisor at Walmart. He's the guy to go for. I'm sorry, y'all. I was just
Good.
eating something. It's the guy, the supervisor at Walmart. That's hypergamous. That's the guy she should go for. But going for the dude that is the CEO of a 400 or 500 company, why would you do that? How is that logical? Like, that's not logical. That's not hypergamy. That's just stupidity at this point. Now, let's go to a different nuance. Let's say it's the woman that don't have kids. She's like 45, 40. She ain't married. She put her career first. All right. She want a man that makes $300,000-400,000 a year. Meanwhile, she makes $300,000-400,000 a year. But he has to make more than her, and he has to pay all the bills. What I don't understand about that is, why do his money matter when you got your own? At that point, you have took yourself out of the market of giving a fuck. I'm just saying.
Because it's back to the wanting to be taken care of.
Yeah, all
Like
women want to be taken care of.
But no, to the point to where they don't want to do nothing. Like right now, that's where the culture is. They don't want to contribute nothing but look good. That's it. They don't want to contribute jack squat. So you want the most while contributing the least. Like, make it
That
make sense.
too. And they have the ones that have things. You got it. Like you got your own money. You got your own house. I can understand you want a man to like match your fly. That's understandable because you know
Yeah.
evenly your type is. But why he gotta have more? When it don't matter. He still can
You're
take
not.
care of you. He
I
still
agree
can
with you.
care
At that
for you. He still can
at
provide
that
for
point,
you
yeah.
and protect you. Like, why do it matter at this point? Sis, you ain't lacking for nothing if you don't.
Hmm.
The fuck? You don't
I
got
agree
shit to
with
lose
you
if
on
you
that
don't.
one.
You don't got nothing to lose.
If we both making the same, then what the hell is the
What the
difference?
hell are you talking
I
about?
got you with yeah, I got you on that one.
But see, that's
It's
the
no
thing.
real argument.
But women don't typically respect men who has the same as they do. Because I'm telling you, like from what I've been seeing and hearing, these women they want somebody who makes triple to what they make and whatnot. Because that's the only time they're going to respect them. They don't care about that man
Fellas,
actually being a man. They
fellas,
don't.
y'all
They
don't
don't
want that
care
type of respect. That's not the respect you want. You don't want the
what kind.
respect from a woman that comes with her because you make more than her. That's
Oh
not the
yeah.
type of
Okay.
respect you want.
Right.
You don't want that
Right.
respect anyway, so it don't matter.
Yeah,
Fuck
but
them.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
hate to say
But
that,
that's what I'm
like
saying. That's what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing. Like we're seeing
right.
all this talk about how they want a good dude, but they're not paying attention to what what that looks like. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All they look, they just pocket sniping. They just pocket watching. You know what I'm saying? And then you
Mm-hmm.
get the pockets, but then you got a trash dude.
I'll take it a step further and say you don't understand what you're saying. You don't understand how that sound.
Mm-hmm.
Like as a woman that definitely said at one particular time, I say it on podcast, it was against my religion to have sex with a random for free. Like, why would I do that? That wasn't logical to me. I mean, so in other words, the hookup culture wasn't logical to me. Like, why would I do that for free? But in hindsight, I'm gonna say this: if you guys want to date a woman just for sex, just say that. Just say, yo, listen, I'm not really looking for nothing tangible. I just want to have an active sex partner that I don't have to interchange every week on it. Is that possible? Is that possible? And ladies, can you be open to hearing that?
I was
Now,
gonna
if you're
respond
cool
to
with it,
that. I was
it
gonna
should be cool.
respond to that because a lot of times when men are honest with that, like that, they ain't gonna get it, sis. They gonna be like, they not gonna get it. They not.
Because the chick gonna get all fake indignant. Who you think I am?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you just said that's all you want? A woman,
Yeah.
a lot of women, not all women, but a lot of women, they not going for that. That's why they always say, well, why men lie all the time? Because we know if we tell y'all the truth, we not gonna get what we want.
I
Am
think
I lying?
if y'all guys collectively say it, women gonna come up on social media. They're gonna be like, why all these men just straight up, just like the other chick with the football shit? Why these men just get straight up coming to me sexually, saying blah 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 blah, and what they want to do? Like they don't know how to have regular conversations. Hey, because he want to fuck you. He don't want to have a regular conversation with you. He don't want to talk to you and indicate that he wants to do anything regularly with you other than having sex. So don't get mad. Be glad that it's definitely not hitting. He ain't over here offering you in a relationship when all he wanted sex. And guys, I do understand that a lot of females is just going to reject you if you just came off straight up like that. But listen like this. If she rejects you now, you don't got to deal with toxic bitch later.
I agree. But I mean, personally, I've never been the guy that lie like that. But I just made sure they had a whole lot of fun when they wanted to anyway.
He said, "Bitch got me again." God damn. God
This is
damn.
what
He done got me again.
this is what Jessica was talking about. Girl, look, you if this what you trying to do, just say that. And so he feel okay. She want me to be straight up.
Yeah.
He be straight up, and then she get out of Dodge. Like, oh, see, I fell for the okie doke.
Cause she
Yep.
don't want to just have sex. That's okay. That's okay. She just don't want to have sex, y'all. She want
And that's
more than
it.
that. That's
That's okay.
okay. But there's
Just
women
say
out
that.
here that just want to have sex. I'm so happy about this conversation today. It took us a minute to get to this point, but there's women that just want to have sex. And y'all know what y'all dudes do? Y'all bash them. Why? How is that logical?
No, I think you spelled it wrong. You said it wrong. No, we smashed them. That's what.
No, we bash them. All y'all want to do is have sex.
Hey,
All y'all do is show y'all body. All you do is get your
this
ass
the
out
realest
there.
one
All
right
you
here. This the
Yeah,
realest one right here.
yeah,
I
yeah.
like
That's the
you
realest
too.
one
I
right
like
here.
you too. We go our separate ways.
Right. Yeah, that's when
I
there's
like
no
you. I
toxic.
ain't never.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no toxic in it. It's just this could work. Oh, you know what? Let me run
No,
away from
man.
this.
Let me run away from this.
He,
Because
he
But
too
no.
soft. He
Now,
too soft.
no. See, this is what you missing, Keish, when you was talking about we down those women, or we talk bad about them or whatever. What it is, it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Shout out to Trey Ferg. Thank you for coming on. It's how men value women. That's what's different. It's the value system. We don't Men and women just have values different. If 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 me, when I say me, I mean hypothetical. If I like a girl, right? And I think the world of this girl, I think she's so we in college together, we in the same classes. I just think she's so dope. And then it come out that she get caught in the locker room with the football team, and Bukake, she just got skeet all over her. I'm gonna look at her differently now. It's just what it is. That's just how men operate. It's just it ain't that we being judgmental. It's just how we're built. That the value that I put in her
wait a minute.
now, because it loses value, because now it's like, well, if you give yourself away to this many people so easily and frivolously, what is it worth to me?
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, yeah.
What is it worth to me?
What is it worth to you? Y'all don't cherish women that are virgins. What do you mean? It's like an
I
oxymoron.
didn't say
Well,
nothing
I don't
about
want you to
virginity.
have
I didn't
sex.
say nothing about
No, no, no.
virginity.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Wait, wait,
You
wait,
see how
wait,
she
wait.
missed
You
that?
can't
She
jump in
missed
my
that one
neck.
up.
What do you mean I missed anything? All I said was 5 words, and now that I missed something, when y'all missing everything that I'm saying because you won't let me say it, don't react. Let me say it. Active listen for once. Now what I'm saying is, oh wait, I don't even think I'm on camera. I started looking for my I got a post on in the Kevin Samuels group. I was trying to find it so I could put it on there. Men say the most oxymoron shit I ever heard in my life nowadays. Y'all do. I want to fuck, but I want to fuck, but if you want to fuck me right now, I wonder how many people you say you want to fuck too. Do you want to fuck or not? That's one. Then the second one is, all right, I'm taking you out on a date. Even though I'm taking you out on this date, I'm only doing this because I want to have sex. But if she has sex with me on the first date, don't she care about her body count? How many other niggas she did this with? Everything is referred to how many other niggas she may have did this with. And I'm like, why you care? When you getting what you want.
Let me know you land the plane.
I'm done. I land my plane. I never understood that.
It's what I've been explaining this whole time. It's how we value differently than women value. That's
I never asked you what you
it's that
value.
simple.
I said, why are
No,
you complaining? I
this
ain't
is
asked you
what
you
but this is what
valuing
I'm
her.
saying.
You treating her like a wife. I never asked that. You keep talking about this value thing. And I'm talking about you valuing you wanting to have sex, right? You valuing your money and you not wasting your money, right?
Mhm.
So when you get said girl that is valuing that said time and that said shit too, it's a complaint. Why complain about it? That's
It's
what
a
I'm saying.
complaint. It's a complaint because they don't meet the value that
You see the ancestors, the babies,
But
baby.
can I
Okay.
ask a question? What men are okay? What men are really complaining if a woman doesn't give it up on the first date? If a man is complaining about a woman that doesn't give it up on the first date, is that really a man of value? He's not. He already knew what he wanted. That was his aim and his goal. And if you reject that, or if you deny that, whatever, then it actually does, in my opinion, add value to the person, to the woman that you are. Because he could have probably effed another woman before you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I get where you're coming from. I don't want to dismiss what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but it's up to us women to hold value with our sexuality to say, no, I'm not sleeping with you on the first day. And you know what? And if you don't want to see me and you want to block me and you want me to pay for my food because I didn't give you none, that's fine. Because I value my body. And a lot of times when men see that side of you, they value you more because they knew you weren't easy to give it up.
which was the
That's
example
true.
that I gave. That was the example I gave earlier. Me in a hypothetical space as a college student. I'm in a class with a girl. She dope. Me and her hit it off. We laughing and giggling. We doing stuff together. We chilling. I'm thinking about being in a relationship with her. I'm not. It's not a thing. It's not nothing about her virginity or nothing. Because I want her to give me some too. I have a preconceived notion in my head that she is this particular type of woman, and I'm attracted to that, and I'm placing value in who I think she is. But then if it comes out, like I said, she get caught, the whole school catcher in the locker room with the whole football team, that is going to change my perception of her. I'm going to say, okay, if she's so willy-nilly and free with herself, what is that worth to me then? If she's open to just give it away and anybody can, the whole football team, she don't even know everybody's name, what is it even worth to her to where she can just give it away like that? What value is it to me if she don't even value herself? That's what I'm saying. This is the mindset that how men and women think differently on value systems.
What makes her
I don't
special?
think it's a
And
difference.
when a
I don't
man,
think I think we all value it that way. I think we all value it that way. I just think that when I think this sometimes when it comes down to this conversation, we want women to act like they're not sexual predators like men can be, or they wouldn't. It's very inappropriate for a woman to have sex with you on the first day and you actually be with that woman years on later. Like, that's just what I think. I think it's a perception in a way how people perceive it. But I'm not saying that hookup culture is a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. Like, people share their own choices. Go ahead, Dedrick.
well, I think let me address the first date thing. First of all, people, you have to consider the source who's saying this stuff because I don't know what dude is going to damn a woman for doing the exact same thing he's just did. Meaning, I'm talking to this woman for weeks, off and on, whatever the case is. We haven't gone on the first date. We haven't even seen each other in person. But I'm talking to this woman on the phone. We video talking. We getting close. First date happens. We already know what's going down. We hooking up.
Right.
We hooked up. What the devil am I judging her for? We both doing the exact same freaking thing on the first date. I'm talking about that's the actual first date. People, when people think first date, sometimes people, it seems to me, people think I met this person on day one, we had a date on day two, we slept together. That's not how that freaking works. Now, even if it did, those are two grown, consenting people who are doing the exact same freaking thing. How the devil can I judge her for doing the exact same freaking thing? That's something some people they don't wrap their brains around because they're looking at it from a one-sided perspective. You can't judge somebody for doing the exact same thing you just did. I mean, literally, y'all both decided to do this on this date. So I've never been the person to sit there and be like looking down my nose at a woman who slept with a guy. I don't know how much correspondence they've had with each other. I don't know how close they've gotten with other means of communication. Because that particular situation has happened to me. I've gotten to know this woman over the course of like 2 months, 2.5 months. And when we finally linked up, it was what it was. So how the devil can I judge another person as if I'm perfect? I can't do that. But
that's my post right there. Go ahead.
But that's what I'm saying though. But what Timotheo said, for men, that's how we calibrate the where that woman falls, the caliber of that woman. Because like I said, within the example that he gave, I can't give the same respect to that woman who slept with 12 of the dudes on the team than this woman who slept with 2 guys. Not at the same time, but just in general. They don't get the same respect. I'm sorry. And people can say, well, you don't get the judge. Yes, we do. Because we hold certain standards that are important to us. Now, women was, well, I'm liberated. Snap, snap. Well, you can be liberated all you want. But if you caught out there, you doing this and you doing that, and everybody sees it, guess what? You're not going to hold the same value as another woman that's valuing herself, that is literally holding herself to a particular standard. I'm not going to judge that woman who's holding herself to a particular standard as that woman who's out there just free spirited in everybody. It's just not the same. It's not equal. Sorry,
it's
but
not.
it's not.
It's not equal. I would say this. I think it's all about perception. I always said this back in 2016. I said something along the lines where, guys, it's okay for a woman to have 4 or 5 relationships, but it's not okay for her to sleep with 4 or 5 guys outside of a relationship. So a woman to have like a relationship after relationship after relationship, but that's cool. Like she's considered the you wouldn't call that a hoe or promiscuous. It wouldn't be called that because she had month-long or maybe a year-long relationships compared to the woman that was in the hookup culture, didn't have month-long relationships, but the body count is still the same. So anyway, my point, what I made earlier, came off of this post right here. I made this post in the KS group because a lot of those guys in there just be contradicting the shit out themselves. So I said a man's worst fear is him trying to slut out a woman, but she likes it and she isn't ashamed of it. So the new improved 2024 men, I'm sorry, men be like, damn, these happy 304s and them wanting to have sex, want to have free sex with me and my homies, even though I wanted to do that anyways. I don't know why these modern women think it's okay to have sex right away, even though I do too. Why must all these women I keep meeting always want to have sex before the date? Don't she care about her body count, even though I'm taking her on a date to have sex? How dare these 2024 304s just want to Netflix and have sex? How are they going to keep a man? Commercial comes on. Women are saying Cheesecake Factory isn't a real date.
They have the course on on how to get white men. Okay, and the first thing she says, drop the black girl attitude. Okay, now they won't do that for a black man. I'm not talking about you all, Miss Evans. I'm talking about these women here, these today's modern woman. He told them to drop the black girl attitude. Okay, now they won't do it for a black man, but they'll do it for Brad. Okay, so that tells you right there, they know what they're doing. They just feel like you're working as a black man. Okay, they don't feel like, okay, well he's not worthy doing anything for.
I don't like that. That's code switching. To tell me how to interact with a white man is to code switch and not act like I'm black anymore. And then tell me that if I wanted to deal with a black man, I should do the same thing to interact with a black man. It's just not act black anymore. That's what I heard.
Actually, well, I mean, it's not really paying off. I'm kind of putting it on.
Is somebody still talking or the audio messed up?
Hello? Can y'all hear me?
We
Y'all can hear me now? What's up, y'all? What's up? Okay, so Happy New Year. I ain't seen y'all since the New
Is
Year.
something in your background?
It might be. Shout out to all the Aquarius and everything.
I mean, it's like this young lady, 21 years ago.
You got something playing in your
You
background?
got something playing in your background. Yeah, it's really loud.
Hold on,
I don't know if it's another tab you got open. You got another tab open or something.
No, I'm on my phone. Hold on.
And I think black nigga got to put an accent.
Go ahead, I'll jump back in.
Yeah, it's always like that with Trey.
Usually he's in his studio.
As a woman, I'll just say that. And look, I was raised by my father. I was around my grandfathers. I was around my cousins, my uncles. I observed and I watched. And this is why I get called a pick me so much, because I know so much about men that I can identify things that a lot of women can identify. If you are out there and you are sleeping around, no matter how much that boy likes you or that man likes you, his instant thought is going to go to, well, okay, she liked this one and that one and that one and that one and that one, and she gave it up to them. So what makes me different than them? What makes me special compared to them? And again, like I said, I'm speaking on observation. And we might not like it. We might want our Uchi scratch and just go out and do random things. But it's not the same. No matter how we want to put it. In the eyes of men, it will never be the same. I have an aunt. I'm going to tell you a real quick story. I have an aunt. She used to be a 304. When I say 304, I'm talking about shipyard. When the soldiers would pull up, they had pictures, and people, the men would pick which ones they wanted, right? This lady is 70 years old. She's never been married.
You gotta hang pictures.
Never had children.
You gotta put the TV on the wall.
Because everybody knew her. Everybody knew her name. Everybody knew her face. People even told her, if you want to start a life, you need to move to another place. Because everybody knows your face and everybody knows what you did. And you were, in fact, loose. And men are not going to value you as a wife and a mother because of your past. So whether we like it or not, it doesn't matter. That is what they see.
All you gotta do is not let them see it. You be all right.
But they see it.
They don't know what you don't tell them.
Oh my God, they gonna see it and they gonna hear about it. They gonna hear about it from the friends that
They only want to hear about it if the chick is one of those chicks that you know, I guess you would say played in her own backyard.
Here's the thing. Most women your age and young, that's the game that y'all. Most of the older 304s, they kept this shit secret. It's happened to come out. It was, you know, they tried to down, you know what I'm saying? But today, they throw it out there in your face, and that's one of the dynamics. And just comment on the talking about women. The problem with women when they start having sexual encounters at such an early age, and for the most part, I don't believe that they use protection. They're just collecting DNA and DNA up into the system, and that just don't affect who are. A lot of times that goes through a woman's body. That's why when women talk about how girl is blowing my back, that dude is penetrating all the way through her brain. And then he ain't committed to her, but she didn't demand or have any expectations. She saw his penis and she wanted to ride. And women spread the word. Girl, he got a big. They gonna spread that word, and every girl he meet, her curiosity gonna keep and say, I want some of that piece. And a young man who really just taking advantage of it is going to try to go get every last one of those women. But when you start having children, you start just continue to collect that type of sexual activity, it affects you as far as being able to transition into your real womanhood. Because by the time most women most women in general, I see when y'all get close to 40, y'all become a different type of woman. And y'all expect all of it. That's just like if I was a crackhead and I damaged all of y'all when I was doing crack, all of a sudden I get clean. Y'all, and I'm saying I ain't no crackhead. I'm clean. But y'all still holding on to that bullshit that I gave y'all when I was. Same thing as a lot of women. Even guys at a certain point, they go through so much bullshit, and then when they get ready to break free as far as transitioning to their next stage of life, that's usually between 35 and 40. They take that into that next phase and they struggle with building relationships. It's nothing wrong with, you know, taking a break from relationships. But one thing I do notice with that, and you see it on these platforms, women will say, hey, I ain't dating nobody, I'm looking for a man, but then I had sex 2 nights ago. Nigga that's busting me down just left this morning. That doesn't make sense. And not only the thing about it, they're putting it out to the public. So when their friends see all of this, and the guy that knows them, that's been trying to get them, he sees that, he automatically puts them in the category of, I just want to bust her down. I don't care what she got going on. I'm gonna bust her down for 6, 8 months, and then I'm gonna ghost her, and then leave her with more trauma. So it's just all of that. I think sexual education in the schools is imperative. White people that live in the suburbs with houses, they provide sexual education. My son had it. He had it, lived in the suburbs, was signed over by the parents to do it. And now when you don't, like I heard someone say that when they teach this, accept all, I don't know what call it, the transgenders and all of that, that's teaching sexuality. That's teaching it's okay to accept somebody putting a man piece in your anus and a woman licking on you, because that's what the truth of it is. I don't give a damn about the pronoun. It's what the action is. And unfortunately, most poor black people are subjugated to that type of environment. Most people that live that lifestyle are poor. By the time they're 25, they're already sexual deviants. So that's my.
Thank you for that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
thank
say
you.
we're in our 2 hour. We about to make it to 3. I ain't even want to let it get that far. Mr. Ferg, as usual, the shows up late.
Well, Mr. Ferguson is married, has a great life, so I'm sorry, but I do appreciate you all for having these conversations. And, you know, Miss Morphine, I hope this is 2024. Shout out to all my Aquariuses. We're going to find you a husband so you can have all that energy to your man. And we're going to move
Ooh, we
on.
about to find you a husband,
Yeah,
girl.
we're going to find you a husband. Because that's what you need. Because all this energy that you're giving, it's just going up in smoke. You need, once you find it, once you find him and he covers you, then you're just gonna shine like new money in your whole thought process. That's just me. I think you wrong.
Can we save this for 2025 and not
See, look at you. See, you trying to be on that
Don't be trying to
merry-go-round for a
curse
little
me.
longer.
I
Get off
just
that
got
merry-go-round.
I've just got into this merry-go-round. I ain't been single in 10,
No,
11 years.
but
I'm
you don't want
cool.
to
I'm
be.
just
No,
tired.
no, Miss Morphine, I'm telling you. No, you don't want to dive into this cesspool. They passing out them packages that you can't take back. You do not want to get out here and get you one of them packages that, no, you can't do it. There's too much going on. It's too much nastiness being spread right now. I'm telling
I
you,
don't
you
mind
know.
condom sex. It's fine with
Hey,
me.
hey. It's beyond that. It's beyond that. Hey, I'm just saying, man. No.
Well, I get it, as it sounds like a boring sex life, but all right, I try.
No. It all depends on you. It all depends on your creativity. If you put energy into a marriage like you do social media, you'll have one of the most successful marriages out there. And all your creativity. You have to put that into your marriage. That's all. That's all.
I think.
Hey, dark skinned women, y'all not made to be single. Y'all made to be. That's all. I'm gone.
I think about it, but let's save that for 2025.
All right. I'm gonna put a stake in it, and then I'm gonna come back to it at some point. I'm gonna check in with you on it. All right. Enjoy, y'all, man. Y'all always bless me.
Man, listen, man, we out of here. If you don't stop, Timothy is your little corny butt. We out of here. Thank you guys for watching. Till next Monday. Then we're gonna have a bye week. Hold on, wait. Let me see. Let me look at the comments. Hey Tim, you want to have a bye week this week? I mean, this Monday or next Monday? I say next Monday because that's my son's birthday. So the 26th, we're gonna have a bye Monday, a bye week. But till next Monday, we're gonna have another show. Our next show.
I was gonna say next weekend will probably be dope because next weekend everybody got, well, I don't got it off, but most people got next Monday off, so we might have it popping as far as audience go. But if we got to do a bye week after that for your baby birthday, that's cool.
Yeah, like after that next follow that 26th, we're gonna do a bye. But next week's show is about they're making me sign in my notes again. Timothy, help us to style. What's next week's show? What we talking about?
Understanding the masculine and feminine from a standpoint of from a standpoint of energies, behavior, attributes, just a broad understanding the masculine and feminine. Because there's a whole lot of this out here, like women is acting too masculine, men are acting too feminine. We gonna break it down.
Yeah, and hopefully we could get the brother Brody on here with the masculine and feminist. You gotta get Brody on here for that shot. That's gonna be. Can we get a little bit of him?
Because he's not gonna be. He's not gonna be objective. He's gonna be subjective because he's lifestyle.
I know, but and that scratch that. My brother has a YouTube, and I'm going to ask him to send me that, and I'm going to clip it, and we're going to be a part of the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
just
so
Coach Brody. I think it's like Coach Brody. I think I follow him.
I know, but I want him to send me the clip where he talking just about that, so I can clip it. I'm gonna ask him for the show for the masculine, dominant, feminine, some shit he be saying that should be fly. But I'm gonna put that in that show. since we always showing other people and supporting other content creators and their viewpoints, we got one from our own chats, our own group. Brody, Coach Brody.
Right on.
We gonna put him up there.
All right. Well, I want to appreciate everybody that came up on the panel. Thank you so much for supporting. We're gonna keep it going and just make sure everybody new watching, like and subscribe. Let me get the joint going on. Cause yeah, we gotta have a joint going on.
Hold on, wait, which one? What you looking for?
I already got it. Boom. Make sure this is the new channel, everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe over here. We didn't put everything under one roof. We got both the channels under one roof. So yep. Let's make it happen, everybody.
So come follow, click, like, subscribe, and come join the conversation. So don't be scared to come up here. We drop the link. Come, and you don't have to get on the camera. It's your choice, but you are giving us a right.
We'd appreciate it. We'd appreciate if you do. But yeah,
we appreciate if you do, but you don't have to. But we would like to hear your POV, your opinions, your thoughts. This has been another beautiful show. Until next time, bye, y'all.